still. And I'm like, fuck, and I get used to them. And it's like what did Gareth say on Wayne's World? It's like a pair of underwear. At first they constrict you, but then they become a part of you.
Yeah. That's the best.
Okay, so introduce Kym.
Are we recording?
Yeah, we've been recording since we sat down.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, should we say that we're watching Going Again, all this shit? We never did before, I guess.
No, everybody knows we're watching Going Again.
Yeah, I guess that's
But
true.
they don't know we're talking to Kym Wyatt McKenzie.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
But
Well, then we have Kym Wyatt McKenzie on today. Sketch comedy extraordinaire and an actor out of Toronto and worldwide, really, right?
Yeah, man. Well, used to be. Well, thank you, Butchers, legends.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
No.
between the two, you guys probably have 1,002 stories. 2,002.
Well, he's got a million. I have two.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's something like that.
you and I have hung out, so I heard everything you had to say.
Yeah. So I'm done talking. You guys.
Yeah. Appreciate you.
God, I hate that.
Yeah. You're probably so sick. That's probably all you get most of the time is people asking you about everything that you've done, right?
No, it's not. It's fun. People are interested.
I only know a couple. I only know a couple of your stories, and I retell the Tia Carrera one constantly.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
I punched her in the face.
Yeah.
She didn't duck. Don't say it like that.
Yeah, she didn't die.
Yeah, true.
I have a Sharpie. I want you to sign our table.
I would love to sign your table.
Yes, man.
Now,
Yeah, don't sign it where Sean's gonna sign it.
Yeah, choose a sweet spot.
I'm just thinking about Sean because I want to.
Now sign that side.
I'm gonna get the corner, I think.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Yeah,
man.
you know what? He made a call on where he wanted it, and I forget where it was. I think it's like the middle.
Yeah, man. Okay.
Sorry to show.
The audience can't see this, but we're gonna put it on later.
Yeah. We'll get pictures and all that stuff.
Sweet. Get a shot of him signing.
Yeah,
this
good
sucker.
idea. Good idea.
This is great, guys. Right on. I'm so stoked you're doing this.
Oh, I mean, this piece of wood is gonna, be worth a ton someday.
Honestly. There you go.
Beautiful. Thanks, Kym. Love it.
Sweet.
All right.
Awesome. Yeah, no, worldwide. I used to live in Toronto. I live kind of close to you guys now. Since the pandemic, it's been pretty easy to do what we do and send in tapes. So
Where are you from?
Originally, born in Ottawa, and then grew up in a town called Ancaster, and then Dundas and Ancaster. Yeah, so we grew up there, and Mom was like single mom, raised my brother and I in Ancaster, which is like a hoity-toity rich little town, but we were the poor kids.
Respect
Right
to
on.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, big time. 3 jobs to keep us there, and I still have the same friends, like with meet some new people along the way, but
Yeah, of
same
course.
like core group of friends
Of
that I've
course.
had my whole life.
Damn right.
Which is amazing.
That's
Yeah.
very cool.
But everybody used to party at our place every Friday, and we were like the poor kids. We had like we were lucky if we had fruit that wasn't rotting because we just. But everyone just came over and just used our
Sounds
shit.
like my place.
Yeah. Like Mom would come home, work her ass off, and there'd be kids sleeping. And my friend had a room from the garage and into the house. And my mom would have to step over my best friend after like working as a nurse, like fucking shift work. It's like in retrospect, I just think of the shit she had to go through and what a saint that woman is.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and then we
That's
moved to
awesome.
Dundas, and then we finished high school out there, my brother and I, and then he ended up keeping the apartment we were in on a ravine. It was an awesome spot, and then she moved to Tasmania to rekindle an old love.
Geez, that's a hell
Whoa.
of a move.
Yeah, man. Yeah, farthest
What-
she could
where
ever move
was-
away from her kids.
That little devil.
Where was her love originally from?
This guy, they used to travel around New Zealand together. I said I just humped it across the mountains together. That's what they were doing. And then he found her on Facebook.
Just a second. He's talking about his mom humping
She's
around.
She's a hippie.
That's awesome.
A hippie at heart, man.
That's wild.
Yeah.
She in a weird, strange way. She almost sounds like Sean's mom.
Oh, really?
I don't know. It's
Yeah,
it's
they
weird.
both
they both kind of have a
picked
similar.
up and moved.
Well,
Yeah.
we thought it was amazing. We thought it was the coolest thing you could do as an adult. My brother and I. She asked us if she could move, and we were like, "Mom, you raised us. You did your job. Like, go, live." And then she they traveled
Fucking A.
across the world. She moved to Taz with this dude, and they live in the Lake District now. And he's gonna pass away soon. He's got cancer, but they had it's all good. They had like good 9 years like together. And
Wow.
so, it's
Fabulous.
crazy.
Good for her.
Super
Do you
cool.
see her? Do you see her?
When I first had my daughter, I saw her, and then we saw her. I traveled Europe for 40 days when she was a little older, backpack with Charlie May, but then like COVID and stuff. But yeah, anyway, so we lived in Dundas, and then I bought a place downtown Hamilton, if anybody knows Hamilton out there. I love Hamilton.
Well, unfortunately, I know Hamilton.
Yeah,
you love Hamilton, really?
I'm a huge Hamilton
You know what?
supporter, man.
I've had good times in Hamilton. Hamilton is certainly a place for good times, but I don't know about living there.
The north end. I was on Barton and Wentworth. I bought my first place when I was 19.
Okay, that's up on the mountain there.
No, man, that's like,
downtown.
It's like downtown.
Oh.
When I got my mortgage, the guy showed, I was like, what's that red line? He goes, that's the train tracks. You can't get a mortgage on that side. And I was like, literally the other side of the tracks. I was like, this is,
No, that's wild, man.
It's true.
yeah, I was like, that's amazing.
That's wild.
All my friends went to university, and I didn't go, so I just bought like a fucking slum house, and then got another one, and so on and so forth.
So normally when I think of a guy like you who's an actor, I think your mom or your parents were supportive and of dreams and things like this, and obviously your mom's a bit of a free dreaming spirit or something.
Yeah, bohemian, that whole thing, boho.
So is that did she encourage?
Well, I mean, I would say always has encouraged lots. Dad tried his best. Dad was a musician. He's a bluegrass musician. So, and then my stepdad is
awesome.
like jazz, like flamenco, like
cool.
So everybody's kind of musical. But yeah, she was always kind of gone. Just let us do our thing. It was like she trusted us, and
interesting.
Yeah.
That's the most important for a parent to trust.
Yeah,
that's wicked
for sure. Yeah, so it was. I mean, when I was younger, I wanted to be a firefighter or an actor, and I always thought I was going to be a dad. And I've almost been a firefighter many times, and then I've just been working at restaurants and trying to make acting a thing. And yeah,
if you end up playing a firefighter in a movie,
it's probably because
successful.
you guys.
yeah.
And the thing too is, you're not trying to be an actor. You're an actor.
I am an actor. Yeah, I shouldn't say that. Yeah, I've been doing it for a while now successfully, and I think way more successful than a lot of people that have tried and
now, having
failed
said
and
that,
bounced out.
Don't you think that actors are always trying to be actors, no matter where they?
That's fair. That's
I think
I don't know.
Actors are just out of work at that point. They've already.
I think.
I guess that's true.
Are you saying like trying like?
Yeah, I was just sort of
like that, like meta.
They're just trying to get the next job.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they're trying. Well, I mean, I have made peace with the journey of what we do, even if at this point, if it was to end, I'd be pretty happy. Or later on, I'm not doing anything else. As long as there's food in the fridge and my mortgage is paid.
Cool, man.
Sure, that's like that's. That's why I work at the bars. I work at the part-time at a brewery, which is where I met you.
What's the name of the brewery?
Flux Brewery.
Awesome.
You're welcome.
Shout out to
You're
Flux.
welcome, Jeremy. Yeah.
yeah. Hey, man, awesome beers and everything.
Let everybody know where it is, because it's phenomenal. It's
it really
an awesome
is.
place.
It is, yeah. So in these southern counties, which we all kind of live and exist in, all these crazy artists out here, which is insane. And I constantly meet new people that just live here and work in the industry. Yeah. I just think it's pretty wild. Anyway. It's in a town called Scotland, Ontario. It's this beautiful little brewery on the water. They've had this like man-made pond. It's open.
It's random.
It's
just random on the road.
Yeah, you don't want to use that diving board.
Well, I'm going to use it if I quit or get fired. That's my last.
That's the oldest diving board I've ever seen.
That's the way to go out.
Yeah, I'm doing a gainer off that. I'm going to smoke my face off.
No, we were there. It's great. The service is incredible.
Yeah, man. Well, it was me.
I know.
Yeah, but that's the journey, man. So I remember why I started acting and everything. Becca my ex wasn't pregnant at the time, and we were in Hurricane Sandy in New York on the water, and I just saw like the whole fucking town just like black out, and I was like, oh man, this is a pretty trivial shitty job. I was working at Sears. And I woke up and I was like, I can't go back to work.
You were working at Sears in New York?
No, I was working at Sears in Hamilton, but we went on the trip and we were just so happened to be in that hurricane.
Oh.
So I just saw like the most powerful city in the world just like fucking blown away. I was like, what am I doing working this stupid job?
I see. I see.
That's a crossroads. We discovered we need to follow our dreams.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Love it, man.
Becca was supportive too. Sure, if you ever watch this, which you won't.
Supportive bitch.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
Supportive bitch. I love you so much. You're a great mother.
Hell yeah. No doubts.
We just didn't work out. It's all good. But then 3 months later, she was like, I'm pregnant. And I'm like, can I still act? can I try? She goes, you fucking better make sure it
Somewhere
works.
right now she's
Yeah,
doing.
I get it.
Somewhere right now she's doing a podcast and going,
That fucking
yeah,
bitch.
I was in New York when Hurricane Sandy hit, and I thought to myself, what the fuck am I doing with this guy?
This guy's dreams, his aspirations are all fucking, he's got nothing. Yeah. Not to mention he's not 6 feet.
That's hilarious. Well, you're just a little under. It's all good.
It's all good. So that's the beginning. Yeah.
Amazing, man. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey for sure. It's been you guys get it all the time. People go, how do I get into stunts? How do I act?
Yep.
You don't even know. I don't even know how to answer that at this point. I'm like the amount of work that it's taken to get to where I am, let alone you guys.
Right.
Sure.
Just, like, what do you start with when somebody asks you that? What do you even say?
I tell them to go away.
Yeah. Well, how many people are just opportunists and looking, right? That's not how we met.
Well, you know what it is I think the average person sees a movie, TV show, whatever, and they see that the actor's doing a great job, they're making a ton of cash, and it's really easy.
Yeah.
So they figure, I could do that. I'm a good-looking person, and I could be,
I'm the funniest in my friend group.
It was exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
And they impress their mother with the little skits that they do.
Yeah.
But they don't know. Like I tell people all the time that if you can be discouraged from anything at any time in life, this is it.
Oh, for sure.
This will destroy people.
I had somebody reach out the other day. He's worked he's an old football mate of mine. Good looking guy. He's full set of hair. He's like, he's worked a factory job his whole life, made awesome money. He's got 5 kids. He's like, hey man, I want to get into acting. Like, I look good still, and I got hair. And I was like, dude, you will not make and you have 5 kids. Your factory job pays you lots of money. You will not start at this. Like, I don't want to say no to anybody, but I was like, oh fuck, you get a rude awakening. If you ever, I will help you.
Totally.
But fuck,
Yeah.
you'll be depressed as fuck.
Yeah, I have nothing against anyone following a dream.
Yeah.
As long as it's a dream. It's not just a notion that they had today.
Well,
I want to be an actor.
Yeah.
Just because they had heard you say it or something. Yeah.
Let alone being say you get there, not know, and then having to be behind a camera in a fast-moving environment with 300 people behind that camera doing intimate scenes, hitting marks multiple times, keeping your energy at a certain pace.
100%,
etc., while maintaining that character and trying to stay in.
Yeah, and there's always that thing in the back of your
hours.
head: time, money, producers, director, making people happy. There's all kinds of shit go into this.
Oh yeah, people just see.
Exactly. And there are so many tiers of people on set that if you're working a floor of a factory, you might see your manager or a boss or somebody that's making a dime more than you are.
Yeah.
But on set, there's everything from down here or whatever that. I don't mean to whatever.
We get it.
But PAs and background workers, all the way up to executive producers and people walking through the set and walking by.
You have to assume
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, you have to assume everybody's watching at all times, and you got to respect everybody. And my best friend is a quite accomplished director from Ancaster, from like kindergarten. Awesome director. He said one thing, Kym, once you get on set, just remember everybody's name. Just that's one thing you should really focus on. And I can only do that on set. I can't do it in life. I know people from high school, and I've hung out with them, and I'll see them today, and I'll be like, Steve? He's like, John. I'm like, fuck. But on set, it's just immediate. Like that's another thing. Like just everybody is doing their job.
Again, your mind frame is in like the professional world at that point, and you're focused on
that's fair.
What you got to do.
Yeah,
you're tapping things out in your head, keeping orders.
Oh, and life, right? Like people understand. Like if these people want to become actors. If you got a shitty day or something happens to you, you're supposed to forget it in every line of work. But people bring that with them. You either use it, and which is a lot of actors can be like, use it, use it and forget about it, and just dissociation. Like when you're on set in front of camera, it's like I've been broken up with, and I had to direct a music video and make it, but I put too much time and effort into doing that.
I get it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've been like huge fights, and you have to just go get lit on fire.
Yeah, no.
You use it.
100%.
Just use it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll light you on fire.
Yeah. I mean, there's so much though, right? It's like.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So well, you just, nepotism, but you wanted to do it as well. Like you grew up with,
of course,
obviously, the legends, but
yeah, of course. and with the question where people say, how do you get into it? Obviously my answer is different than the majority of other stunt performers.
Maybe 90, maybe 80, 90%.
You know, most stunt performers come in with some sort of athleticism or a sport or something that they are already rather accomplished at, if not at a professional level.
You skateboarded though. You're a skateboarder.
But that's the thing is my sport's a little different than some of them. Usually they're martial arts and gymnastics and things like that. And I always dabbled in that stuff sort of growing up, but skateboarding was just my sport.
Some would say that's more important almost to be in.
Well, I always tell
sports.
people, like when they ask about my injuries or something on set, which I don't have a ton of injuries on set. Of course, you get rocked doing stunts. I've had like a dislocated shoulder and a few other things, but nothing major. I always tell people that as a skateboarder, and I was hardcore, man. I still skate today, and I've been skating since I was like 12.
I saw your ankle.
Yeah, exactly.
180 twist the other.
Yeah, I always tell people that there's easily more pain involved in just a skateboard sesh, you know, than there is doing stunts. Usually stunts is more of like a calculated risk and all this kind of stuff, and skateboarding is sort of.
When I was on Reacher,
let's see how this goes.
Alan Richton, I knew he was going to throw me down 24 times, and he's a big grown man.
Yeah, he's a big dude, man. He is a big.
At the end of that, my leg was just completely blood and stones, but I was like, oh, whatever. Like, I knew what was going to happen.
So you're one of the few people that have been whipped around by him.
Alan Richton? Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, you had, it was close.
No, I was close. Yeah, I had a fight scene to do with him.
Day.
Yeah, it was a sad day.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should even go into that day, but it ended up, a day cut short.
I love, like, I don't fanboy often, but with him, we were all on Reacher.
No, I wasn't.
Oh yeah, the one thing. Yeah,
he was on his own show.
Yeah, no doubt. Which was what was?
I don't know.
It was probably
Mayor of Kingstown.
Yeah, you're on Mayor of Kingstown.
You were literally on Mayor of Kingstown.
Oh, was I?
Yeah, you must have been because those overlap. Because I remember doing both pretty close together.
Oh, okay.
Well, I remember getting.
I did my days on Reacher, like right inside MOK.
I just remember the paychecks were pretty close together. I was like, oh damn. It pays good. Do it. Yeah,
absolutely.
But Alan, he was in Blue Mountain State, which is like it was the funniest football show. It was a football show.
Yeah, that was great.
Remember, he used to play Thad Castle. I remember, and I got that job. I threw your name around after the audition. And I had
Did it work?
I was on the job. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was, my dad helped me with that. I was like, Dad, like slit my throat this way and everything. But I remember sitting in the tent. It was just myself and two other actors, and then Richardson just sat down. I was just like, oh man, this is so cool. Like, but I don't fanboy often. And I was just sitting there. I was like, yeah, man, what? Blue Mountain State? He's like, slowly turns. He's like, and the other two actors had no idea what we were talking about. And he's like, what is that, Alan? He goes, that's when I was a young svelte boy. I was on this show, and I was like so happy. He was just talking to me about it all. Like, it was the best. I love it. But yeah, then we did Mayor of Kingstown. I remember getting that text from you. Gotta roll. Answer me by noon or I'm giving it away.
100%. I just move on, brother.
That's how quickly shit moves, man.
Oh, I remember. It's like, send me a headshot. I was like, I couldn't find one. I just took one of my yeah.
Speaking of fanboy, have you ever seen the movie, you know, the National Lampoon series?
Yeah, of course.
Way back, there was a movie called Senior Trip.
I never saw that one. I remember the Ryan Reynolds one.
No, I don't know. I can't remember exactly how early this was, but I did watch it obsessively when I was, I think, grade 6.
I did Las
grade
Vegas
7, grade 7,
Vacation.
8, something like that. Yeah, well, those were great movies.
Yeah.
But Jeremy Renner he stars in Senior Trip.
We never think about that. Yeah.
No, and it's just a dumbass National Lampoon movie. But I asked my dad to tell him that you know, Marvel's all right, but Senior Trip is bomb. And so I don't know what you told him, but I
told him that
I actually fanboyed so much over Renner that I didn't shake his hand. Yeah, and it's not like I'm some freak fan or anything, but I'm a freak fan of that movie.
Dude, we're in the industry. How many people have we seen that we respect and idolize, and we got to work alongside them, and then just be also professional? But you can still get giddy. I get excited seeing you guys. I'm like, I got so much respect for you dudes, right? But like,
well, that's nice.
Jamie Renner, I never used to until I listened to him on a podcast, and I heard what he did. He told basically Disney when he was playing Hawkeye, he's like, you give me this time off so I can spend it with my daughter, I'm not going to do it. And he just tried to strong arm Disney, and it worked. And he came back after he said, he's like, what the fuck did I just do? He's like, oh my God. Like, but that's the kind of shit you got to do sometimes. Like, he just threw his weight around.
Yeah. He's a good dad. He's really...
I've heard and I've seen,
really
he talks about it openly. I never used to really, I wasn't too big into Jeremy Renner before kind of knowing real honestly about him and on the podcast and stuff. And I remember seeing him in like Dahmer and like some other movies, but I never really...
Yeah, he's had a few great movies and cool roles and stuff. But
he played, he's in more stuff than you could think about. It's like a Senior Trip where he was in that Charlize Theron movie where she plays the miner, and he was like he's like the evil ex-boyfriend. I was like, oh yeah,
I don't know.
Renner, man. Yeah, you just forget that he's in heaps of stuff. He's been acting for his entire life. But yeah, you get to meet him.
Unfortunately for him, nothing beats his very first film, National Lampoon Senior Trip.
No, I know. Yeah,
and I told him,
when you set the bar a certain height, that's it. You know, you gotta play with that bar. You can't just come in rocking. It's
True.
Like my first thing was McDonald's commercials. You know, I'll never do better than those. Yeah.
Yeah. No. There's no chance.
McLobster.
I'm honestly looking at you with that hat and that shirt, and I'm picturing Mickey D's and the little logo right there.
Yeah, man.
The whole time.
I got a giant tattoo of McDonald's on my chest.
Can I get some fries?
I like that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, man.
Hey, I just saw you in a commercial just recently. What was that for?
Betting, the North Star bets. Probably betting.
So good.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Comical, suave, like opposite Dos Equis man sort of thing.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought.
Yeah, it was. Those are great. Those are great spots.
Well, yeah, there's this sort of but there are those series of commercials like man style commercials, right?
We did that one. I'm wearing a turtleneck, blazer, and trying to be all, you know, it's a joke, it's a comedy spot, but they're great. They look great, and all the other betting commercials, they're serious. It'd be like Jamie Foxx and all of them, but they're all wearing fucking turtlenecks and like blazers. I don't think they knew that. They just go, this is what it's probably going to be. And so many of them have the same look. And then there's me making fun of it though.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. It's like
I see. That's cool.
Yeah, it's great. It was great. Have you seen them?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I see them every time I go over. I mean, I don't have cable. I watch YouTube and they get those commercials. I haven't necessarily seen them there, but yeah, I go to the keg and I see it. We played golf and we ended up at like a St. Louis bar and grill or something, and saw you there.
Man,
you're just
great. Everywhere. I was so happy to get those. There's 3 of them. They cut them up into 30-second spots, 15-second spots, 7-second spots. And radio, like the face.
You're gonna get called back, I guarantee.
I fucking hope so. I've never been so sick in my life. And versus I was on set.
Well, it's like the Dos Equis guy. It's like the Old Spice guy.
Well, this is the thing, though. I hope they stay in business because there's so many betting companies right now, and I'm following them religiously on Instagram right now, being like, "Oh, get your followers up, man. Let's go."
Yeah.
This is my daughter's chance to have fruit that's not rotten. Let's go. Yeah. My life is that and Hallmark movies right now, and then waiting for the next stunt thing, which I got to figure out how that works.
It'll come up.
What the hell? Yeah.
I started another couple shows in first and middle of August.
Well, I know I think one just got renewed for season 2. If I'm
yes, one did.
Right.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
And then there's another show that's just starting up first season.
Okay, cool.
So we'll see.
Yeah, sweet.
If I need a guy with a turtleneck and a blazer, you're in.
Well, this is the thing, right? What did you say to me when we first met? Do you remember how
Camp
that went
32.
down?
Well, I remember
31,
first
31. Sorry.
No, they banned me, so let's call it Camp 32. We can't talk about Camp 32 legally. No.
True.
I got fired. Yeah.
Okay.
I can imagine.
But I met you in a place.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. I said, you should be an actor. He said, I am.
I am. You're like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I am. He goes, yeah, everybody says that. I go, no, not around here, man. You go, are you a union? I go, yeah, full union. You paid my dues. And then I go, what the fuck do you do? Like, what do you do, man?
Yeah, what's with the third degree?
You're like, I'm a stunt coordinator. I've done most of the stuff in Canada. I was like, no, you're not. It's like, look it up. He goes, can you fall? I go, what do you mean, can I fall? He goes, well, you can act. Can you fall? I'm like, I've been falling by accident my whole life. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, that worked out.
And you're like, I'll get you on a Netflix show next month.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, buddy.
Well, a few stunt actor roles
Yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah. So it's been
That's
3 or
wicked.
4 now, which is amazing. Yeah. And
October Faction.
And it'll keep going.
MOK.
yeah, Mary Kingstown. That was so fun. That was the first time I got squibbed,
It was a big one.
and you took the record. Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, but what you did was awesome. Ripped your shirt open. It was huge.
Oh, it was huge. It was a shotgun blast.
Yeah, you did a nice job, buddy.
But what I'm
stood there and
more
watched that.
impressed with, and I've always said this, that when an actor takes the squib for the first time, the facial expression is incredible because you don't know what to expect.
Oh, I didn't act.
No, but with your fall, like when you hit the deck, you said like you were in such a tight quarters.
You remember all the metal and everything?
all the
It was-
stuff,
yeah,
all the buttons and the knobs and whatever in that little hut.
for sure.
I just said, I don't know, pick a spot, hit it, and you hit the deck hard.
Yeah.
It looked amazing.
I know. I was really worried because I knew how many takes we had of that. One. Yeah. Yeah, like you're shooting on film, and they don't have time to redo that, and they're going to move on or not use that footage.
Big time.
Yeah, I remember being so nervous, but just being like, I know what I can do. Like I've worked with guns before and blanks, and I've done this, and
Yeah.
so I knew how to do that. And
There was a ton of shit going on that day.
holy fuck, man, I almost shit myself before it happened, because directors from LA, this and that. There's 400 people. It's a prison riot. There's fire. They're running down. We gotta do our thing. There's GoPros everywhere. This is before the squib, thank God, because we got it set up. And then the shotguns start going off right by your head and everything. I have to go in the lockbox in a certain amount of time to get that handgun. And then the biggest thing they asked me to do is, well, I get shot, then I have to shoot. But they made me switch my hands for the camera's sake. So I had to shoot with my left hand. I was like, fuck, here's another fucking thing. I was like, no. So I was like, yeah, no problem. Like, I got this. And then the guy busts in, shoots me, and then I got to shoot him and fall. I was like, what am I doing?
And that's wild.
It looked amazing.
And it happened so fast, right?
It was immediate.
Like up until the point
Yeah.
you go, oh, what am I going to do?
I was sitting in my trailer for 4 hours eating a steak, watching 999 on the TV, and I was like, oh, this is great. And then, all right, we're going to use you now. I was like,
And then it goes boom, 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 boom.
oh, yeah. Yeah, and then the squib,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Yeah.
where, and the squib, that was such a cool experience getting, squibs are explosives that get thrown on you, and they literally just blow up, and blood goes everywhere to make it look like you're getting shot.
Yeah,
they put a
special
little blood
effects
pack
guy
in.
behind you,
he's-
detonating
He'd
it.
be about like 6 feet away with a cord, so he's there. And another thing, you got to work with him on the motion. So we're right before I was like, whoa! I stopped the director and everybody because I was like, what is the motion for you to blow me up? Is it going to be my hand come down at a certain line? What do you want?
Yeah.
Because you can't
Yeah, it's all timing.
all timing.
And you got to trust these people and know what they're doing.
yeah, man.
And see, that's
A lot of it.
the interesting thing about that is that, actors, a lot of stuff that they create is organic. You just create whatever it happens on the
Being
moment.
present and grounded. Yeah.
Right, but there's a technical aspect to it, because if your hand is in front of the squib, you're going to blow off your thumb.
It won't feel great.
No, it's, so you have a technical component to this particular piece of acting.
Yeah, grab the gun at a certain point, lift it at a certain point, shot, know that's coming, and then follow through with your fall, which was also like
So
kind of nerve-wracking.
what was the answer to your question? What was the moment of hitting the squibs?
It was a line that him and I decided that I would straight arm, and once I lifted it right to my chest height, that would be, yeah, because the guns would go off so quick.
Yeah.
And no one could tell. Right?
great, eh?
And, yeah, right. And they were going to cut it a certain way.
And then it scares the crap out of you and you fall down.
Oh man, yeah. Well, I look like Bruce Campbell in the still I have of that shot. It's I'll show you guys. It's my face looks plastic when I got blown up.
That's funny.
Yeah, my best friend screenshotted. He goes,
Bruce Campbell.
If you send me that, I'll put it up on the.
yeah, look at that. Oh,
You send me this picture and I'll put it up on the screen.
Yo, you do. Yo, that's hilarious.
is that great? I look like I got fucking plastic surgery and.
That's a great shot. I'd love to have that.
Oh, for sure, man. Yeah. Yeah. Is that funny?
Yeah, that is funny.
I don't know. My friend, he took that still. And he's like, you look like.
Do the next Evil Dead, baby.
Oh, it's so funny. Yeah, but what a great moment, man. What a cool moment. And
What episode do you think that was?
That was
Yeah.
It was
9 or 10?
nine, middle of 9 when they have the breakout, and getting squibbed, meeting all the cool people again, talking about fanboying. James Jordan, who I was talking, that's when I got to talk to him. He's on Yellowstone, and I probably Instagram him too much because these guys got all svelte and jacked. I was like, "What are you doing? How are you doing that, man? You're not."
Yeah, I just saw a picture of him.
Do you see that?
Looks amazing. Yeah.
It looks amazing. I know I sent him like too big of a paragraph because all my thoughts just get jumbled, and I'm like,
did he respond?
He did. Yeah, he's great. He's great that way. Okay. He's
then he cares.
He's from like Montana, right? He's like just a cool.
He's a guy.
He's a guy.
He's just a great guy to work with.
He's a guy. And Michael Beach.
Yeah, Michael Beach is incredible.
Amazing dude. I met all these guys just getting, squibbed up, and they probably won't remember me, but I was like, this is great, man. I love this. I met
beautiful.
What's his name? The Irish actor. He's in Game of Thrones. Plays Littlefinger, I think.
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, what's his name?
He's in Peaky Blinders.
Man, he's
been
like,
dude, and he talked to me. I had the stupidest conversation with him ever. He's like, I was standing beside him. I was like, we both had our masks on because I was like, hey man, we're talking. He's like, yeah, how you doing? It's like his accent. I go, where's your accent? What's the accent? Where are you from? He goes, I'm from Ireland. Like,
you know what I'm gonna say? Oh, sorry.
No,
continue. Hold on. Continue.
This is a really dumb, like really stupid. Like he goes, I'm like, oh, the islands, cool. Like where's what Dominican? Like, well, I don't understand. He's like, no, Ireland. I was like, what? Who are you saying? He goes, I'm from Ireland. And I was like, oh yeah, my whole family's from there. Anyway, nice meeting you.
He's like, I hope I never have to do that again. It's 5 times this week. No.
Oh man. Yeah, what are you gonna
say? What was I gonna say? Oh, I was just gonna say, for a guy who doesn't fanboy often, you fanboy often.
Yeah, I told you about 3 times that I fanboyed.
Yeah, all on the same show.
I'm thinking that the fanboys are more just me being like, "Whoa, cool." But I mean, obviously, the conversations I have are not being. It's just like, "Hey, I'm Blue Mountain State." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Sweet." You're from Ireland? He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Cool."
At least they're probably thinking, at least he didn't ask me for a picture.
They probably think I'm simpleton. They probably think I'm a simple boy from Canada.
They don't realize that your acting skills are way beyond.
Hey man, part of the deal is keeping humble. But I do think I'm at this point in time I'm pretty okay. But I don't think about it too much. I just kind of do. I don't know how you guys approach it, but like when you do some acting.
Yeah, I do.
You do lots.
A fair amount.
You guys make your own stuff.
Yeah. I'm gonna speak to that comment that you made.
Which one?
Being humble.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
When I was a kid, I had an audition in Montreal. My car wouldn't even make it to Toronto, so I went and took all my money out of my bank and I bought a ticket and I flew to Montreal. For the very next day that I got the call, took a taxi downtown. It was apparently for a big American movie with a big American director.
Okay.
So I went in and did my read. My hair was down to here. I was in great shape. I was just a kid. And at the end of that read, the director actually said to me, "Mr. Butcher, are you a good actor?" Mm-hmm. And being a proud Canadian and humble, I rolled that cob of corn under my foot and I put my tongue in my cheek and I said, "Not bad."
Yeah.
He said, "Thank you." 4 months later, when the movie was shot and gone, I had an occasion to speak to that casting director. And I said, "I thought he loved me." She said, "He did. He loved your look. He loved your read. Mm-hmm. Told me he was looking for a good actor and not a not bad one."
No, the confidence thing.
Big time.
Mm-hmm.
And from that moment forward, I have never made the same mistake. And if you're going to enter this industry, enter it with an American attitude or get out.
I know, and that you hear that over and over and over again, but it's like so hard for us just being like.
Well, the thing is too.
You're an actor. Just pretend.
I mean, we watch celebrities on TV, and you want them to be sort of humble or something because it kind of brings them down to like a level that you feel at or something. I don't know.
You bring the humanity to a base, they become a guy.
But when you're talking to somebody who's in the business and all this, he's not looking for anyone to lower themselves. He's looking for someone to be honest about what they do. And
it's when I go to set and you meet someone and they say, "I'm just a background." And I always remind them very quickly, it's not my place to teach them. But I say, please don't use the word just or only. Don't qualify what you do. You either are or you're not.
It's fair.
And tell me you're good at it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just honesty. It has nothing to do with being boastful.
Yeah. So we'll reverse this. Yeah, I've worked my ass off, and I do really fucking good, and I'm very good at it.
We're gonna edit out the last 5 minutes. Yeah.
I coughed over that. I didn't mean to, but yes.
Yeah,
I'd rather hear that.
Yeah. Which, you know, you talk to so many people about all the time, and it becomes just like in everyday life, you know. Yeah. I remember the North Star bets that were on TV when I was at the brewery, and everyone starts cheering, you know, and I'm on the screens everywhere, and then I come out and I was cleaning the shitters. I was like, oh, it's cool. You know, that's the mentality always. It's just like, it's a job, and like you work your ass off, and
100%.
Yeah. But you do have to get that, and that has taken a while. And I always say this too, and I don't know why. You know, even with comedy, right? People have all the confidence in the world when they're younger, and they have no reason to have this confidence. When we get older, we kind of lose that confidence, but we have all the reasoning because we've worked our ass off, and we're learning it constantly. Like the knowledge in this room right now of our industry is amazing.
You're correct.
Yeah, like insane. But you lose that confidence. You always got to remind yourself that you're here for a reason.
Well,
we're doing this for a reason.
It is a humbling.
Yeah.
It is a humbling industry in general. You know, the fact is, you can audition for 100 parts, 100 roles, and no matter how close you get, unless you're first, it doesn't matter.
I can't count how many I've done this year alone.
Exactly. It's a humbling industry in general, and it's like maybe when you're at his level, it's a different ball game, but that's getting there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it humbling to you at all?
Well, we have to keep feet on the ground, like stay humble. But I get the attitude thing for sure. And when we're in the room, we're not we're not, you know, I'm contradicting here with that one thing I said earlier. But like when you're in the room with working alongside these people that I don't care about, I don't fanboy about fucking anybody. But when you work
right,
except 3 that we know.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
You, I can go on. I was like, oh my god, stop counting.
Same episode.
I pulled like a lawnscape paper of like all the people. Like I was like 3 stairs. Yeah, but when you work with these people, they expect you to do a certain quality of work and job, and that's
Correct.
what we're there. That's what we do. You can't ever think you're just like, oh, I'm not up to the par, and imposter syndrome, right?
Correct.
That shit goes out the window, for sure.
I think what happens, though, you mentioned the confidence wanes as you get older. It hasn't for me, and I've gotten older. Yeah, it's
Brilliant.
it's
not my day.
You begin to, as you get older, you begin to compare yourself with others in your
Comparison is the thief of joy.
100%. So you've got to stop that. Yeah, you asked about humble. That's what's in my head. I think I'm a fairly humble person to begin with, anyway. Being a Canadian that's grown, but I also understand my accountant is really good at what she does. I have a friend who's a firefighter, and he's really good at what he does.
Sure.
And if you ask him, "Are you a good firefighter?"
I'm okay sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure he's going to tell you he's good. He's in incredible condition. He's hardworking.
Sure.
I don't want someone sitting in the firehouse who is a mediocre firefighter.
That's fair. It's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
Don't tell. So when I look at your resume, and this is that lesson that I learned when I was a teenager, are you a good actor? I'm not looking for someone to be boastful or an egotist. I need someone to tell me the truth. And if you can't tell me yes, I'm very good at what I do. If you don't give me that answer, why do I want you in my movie?
Fair.
Why would I ever hire you as a stunt performer to drive, fall down, light on fire, go through a window? I don't care what it is. If the producer is spending $250,000 today, you better tell me you're good at it, or you're not getting the job.
Not to mention being punctual, on time, ready to go.
Oh, there's so many elements.
At like 4 a.m., have the same energy. Yeah.
So many elements.
Yeah. So speaking on that, you came back from that audition in Montreal probably feeling awesome. Fucking yeah, I got this. And then just didn't hear.
That's right.
Didn't hear. That kind of shit that we have to go through too. Like just the rejection, the idea of like, I've got so stoked for some roles, and I dream about them.
I spent 3 days reciting the lines.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, I should have done it this way.
Well, yeah, right. But as we say, the auditions and rejection, like I played football for a long amount of time, and I just think about like, well, you throw an interception, the game doesn't stop. You just keep going. I always try to think about that. Like as
There was a point. There was a
acting.
point. Like I started auditioning when I was probably 11 or 12.
Yeah.
No, you were younger than that.
Not
That picture over there is either 8 or 9.
well.
7,
No,
8.
no, no. Well, I guess that's probably true.
On the other wall, not that. He's like
Yeah,
Christian
no.
Bale's young hot boy there.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I can't say.
well, thank you.
You're hot at 11.
I miss those
14.
days.
That's a hot boy.
He's a fanboy of 4 now.
Listen, I was 15. No, I don't know.
I was a man.
No, you're right. You're right. That is a really early
Yeah.
picture. That is true. I don't know. I don't remember half the crap I've done. My whole life has been spent doing auditions and being a part of this this industry and this world. But I think by the time I was 15, I was just used to rejection, and then yeses came sparingly in a way. And that's because it's not because I sucked. For anyone who doesn't understand the auditioning process, if you have an agent and you're out there learning, educating yourself on the skills and all that stuff, there's a good chance you're doing several a week, sometimes 2 a day.
Honestly, I don't. It's never enough for me. I want more. And shout out to my amazing agents, Amanda Rosenthal talent. They're the best thing that's happened to me. I'm so lucky to have them. They're just a powerhouse. But it's never enough, man.
You want Kym Wyatt McKenzie, you give her a call.
Yeah, and it took a few years for me to get my first yes. Randy Lee, my younger sister, it took her one audition. The very first audition she did.
That's what we see. We see that shit all the time, though, right? We'll see book. You're like, what?
But as you grow older too, and you're the wisdom starts kind of turning, and you start to understand the industry. You sort of have the ability to put yourself in the shoes of the director or the producer or the writer,
which we
or whoever's
all direct. I know we all direct here, and I know we all create stuff. So
Yep.
we also see that side of how that works.
Yeah, and you start to realize that if the
It's
director,
not personal.
Well, yeah, the director's got something in his head. He's read the script or written it,
or he's
whatever.
working within confines of other.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
totally. And if, but if you don't come walking in looking exactly like the character he or she sees in their head, then there's a good chance you're already, before you even start up in front of the camera, you're kind of already on a lower.
Yeah, or your opposite has been cast, and you have to match that.
Well, that's true.
Way, right?
Yeah.
You don't know.
That's true.
There's so many
That's
aspects. It's ridiculous.
Andrew was up for a show, and he was a little too tall to play the son because the father was shorter than he was.
Which is crazy because you're always taller than your parents.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, and
usually.
I got this close to being the lead in Almost Famous, which has literally become my favorite movie.
It's like a cult.
And that's just a coincidence.
Which is a hard thing if you almost get something, almost famous from Almost Famous. But that's a hard thing to.
I've
a lot
dreamed
of people
about that.
A lot of people can't watch it, right? You can't watch those things.
No,
I know people that have been up for Arrival, an actor friend of mine, and he did a really good job. He was on it.
Is that space movie?
Yeah,
Amy-
it's a translation. It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah.
Fucking Jeremy Renner might be in it.
Was it?
He's in everything.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
maybe.
I don't know. It plays the alien. No, I don't know. I don't remember.
But it's a great movie. Anyway, they cut this person out, and he has not been able to watch the movie since. I'm like, you should watch it. It's pretty good.
I've heard a lot of things like that.
Yeah.
Of people not watching the movie because they've literally their scene is cut.
Well, I was afraid.
I don't.
Well, do you want?
You don't hire me as a coordinator? I'm not watching your show.
Yeah, I won't do it out of spite. And you're singing.
Do you watch the
Nobody
show
knows.
that you're
Director's like, hey,
coordinating?
Yeah, I
man,
don't
you
even
just
watch
wanted
the
to-
shows I'm coordinating.
Just want to know, did you watch it? You're like, no, I didn't. So he's like, fuck.
You know, it's funny.
Don't be humble. Don't be humble.
The funny thing about doing TV series is that I read the scripts. I know the actors. I know them personally as people, but I know the characters, and I've already seen the show, and I know how the stunts go. I don't watch a lot of the TV shows that I do. I'll watch the movies that I do, but I don't watch the TV shows.
TV, that's a lot of commitment, is watching something like. And
But he's also a
if you-
movie guy.
But yeah, if you well, my best friend
Not a TV
Charlie,
guy
I want to give Charlie
necessarily.
Terrell a shout out, by the way. Thank you so much for being you, man. He's been a super big support, and this guy's like Oscar shortlisted director. Like and from little guy from Ancaster, just parallel stories. But anyway, he won't watch TV. He watches movies only. And I don't know why is that, because of the commitment or just the
I don't know.
story.
How old is he?
He's 34.
Oh, then
Yeah.
I don't know.
I love
Because
this
I
guy.
consider right now TV is taking the cake because
Well, you
it's-
have 10-hour movies.
yeah,
You have-
it's unreal what you can do with
I'm
TV
watching
now.
The Terminal List right now, and it's it's Chris Pratt, and love him or hate him, but like it's
You're a fanboy.
fanboy.
I'm imagining.
Parks and Recreation, yeah. But it's great. I'm like jogging like 10 kilometers a day because of it. I'm like a Navy SEAL, which I do not have. We talked about that before. I do not have sea legs, but I'm like, I'm fucking watching The Terminal List. I'm getting into it. I watch it every morning after I get my daughter all set up. And I'm like, I'm gonna go watch an episode
And go jogging.
Yeah, you want to work out later? Let's do this. I was like so into it, but it's 10 hours of just this like, and I'm constantly thinking about it. Like, I know if like gamers sometimes think about playing games all the time. I'm not a gamer, but like you think about that. I think about watching The Terminal List in the morning or at night. I'm like, I'm gonna watch
Yeah,
an episode of
I
this
do
tonight.
that. There's some great TV shows. Succession. I don't know
Well,
if you've
I
seen
have
it.
to get into
Holy
that, man.
fuck.
I heard amazing things. Well, The Boys.
Well, they took the
Boys is cool. Yep.
the
The Boys.
Emmys.
Toronto.
The-
Toronto shot.
I think Succession was nominated for the most Emmys.
Yeah, Under the Banner.
Oh, okay.
Has been doing pretty good. And my good mate Mikey Lipka, who
I believe it.
you guys got to meet. I just did a short film, just directed it with him, and he's a skate kid and a phenomenal actor.
Variety newspaper
He was in Under the
printed
Banner. Anyway,
that they predicted that Mayor of Kingstown would be nominated for a stunt Emmy,
yeah, nothing.
but it wasn't.
Nah,
Boo.
nothing.
Boo.
And like that's
Should've
interesting what that kind of stuff does for the career too. So Mikey and I have been talking about it. He got to work with. He's sitting in a car with Wyatt Russell and God, I forget his name. Sam, big dude from Avatar, that Australian actor. Sam,
Oh.
you know what I'm talking about.
Sam will know.
Yeah, Sam will know his name. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah.
he's sitting he's with these heavy hitters, and he's in an Emmy nominated show right now with Garfield, Andrew Garfield, and he's got
Wow.
great scenes, and he's like, I'm like, dude, this will
Jeez,
probably do well for your career. It'll probably,
Yeah.
There's no way it can hurt at any capacity, right? So these things do matter, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because you did a great job on that show.
I
was
know.
there. I know you. I know. Of seeing the action in that one scene alone, I was like, "What is happening right now?" There's
Yeah.
how many stunts
was
performers do you have on
unbelievable.
that? 100 and something? 90?
No,
140?
40? Two?
200,
Two of us?
230 overall over the
Oh,
10
wow.
episodes. But there's a picture behind over your left shoulder. Of
I was not in that.
Well, that was that was just literally one scene.
That's just one day. One
one scene.
That's
several days.
That's the last episode. Probably, right?
Well, yeah.
I think so.
It would be
Was
because
it?
I was in the second. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, where
So
the whole prison riot and all that shit.
Yeah, we took.
That's where
4
James Jordan
days.
gets.
That was unreal.
Fuck,
Yeah.
man, what a cool experience.
Did you know?
Yeah.
You saw where James gets shot?
Yeah, in the side of the head.
Yeah, and he drops down.
Right? Yeah. And cold drop. Did he do it?
Yeah, no, oh God, yeah, and he was great. They were really great. But he drops down and sits on an apple box. You can see it in the shot.
Oh no, really?
Oh.
Oh, come on, man. That's why you didn't get an Emmy.
I didn't put it there.
Whatever. That trivia is going to end up on IMDb.
I'll
anyway.
Instagram him right now. He loves when I text him.
I'm sure it's there.
Oh yeah. Well, that's hilarious though.
Looking great. Eating plums. He's like,
I love
yeah,
that.
man. Who are you? I'm like, no, never mind. Yeah.
You know,
That's too
you mentioned earlier nepotism, and I'd really like to address that.
Sure.
In the history of Hollywood, stunts
Yeah.
was set down from father to son, mother to daughter, blah blah blah. It went that way, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all families, and it's the same thing here. We have huge family stunty people,
Yep.
but the thing is when these guys were little, Kristen, Andrew, and Randy Lee all grew up in a film family.
Mm-hmm.
It's what we did. They learned how to write at very early ages. They understood how to read a script, things like that.
Shout out one of the better writers I've ever met, by the way. This man right here.
Yeah, man, I
Wow.
agree.
For real.
Super sweet.
For real.
No, I
Seriously.
absolutely
Thank
agree.
you.
He's worked very hard, learned a lot.
For a guy who I watched write his name right there like a child, I appreciate it more than you know.
I totally get grammar. Here, keep going. Sorry,
No,
that's your thought.
I was just going to say, like you mentioned earlier, a friend of yours said, "I want to be an actor."
Yeah.
So you can help your kids and you can help your friends get in that room. But if they don't have the moxie to stay in that room,
True.
there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. Yeah.
So when Andrew showed up on set, yeah, sure, I introduce him, but he's hired by everybody. He producers call him all the time.
It's longevity and
That's
keeping
right,
in
because
and trusting
it
that
has
person.
nothing to do with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with his skill, Kristen's skill, Randy Lee's skill. My youngest daughter, Randy Lee's an art director. She gets called all the time. She just turned down a big show,
Which is
just to enjoy her summer.
which I think is one of the bars of success in our industry is when you can turn things down. I know some actors that are like, nah, I'm going to take that role.
It is, although it comes in like waves. Like you know,
yeah.
certain years you're just like, I can't turn shit down,
No, I hear
and then
yeah,
another year you're
that's
going,
fair.
fuck, I gotta turn something down.
Yeah, and people call that they're having a moment. A moment.
Yeah,
Which
yeah,
I hate that fucking term.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Because I'm like,
sounds silly.
no, don't take it away.
True.
Yeah, well, desperation too, right? Like after you get that person in the room, if we get too desperate, people can smell that a mile away, and you got to get rid of that in some capacity, like, which is crazy. The business of acting and being a stunt performer, you got to put yourself in a good position. Again, living out here because of COVID, I tried Toronto and it wasn't sustainable, and it didn't help me. Being here with my kid, I have a better quality of life, more time, and I'm working way more, and I'm doing my own shit. Living out here, it's you got to put yourself in a position to win. I'm sure I'm not meeting maybe people I need to meet, but I don't think I fucking
Like being
I don't
out-
think I kind of need to sometimes. Like I know you guys, and I'm making my own way. I got great agents. I got a great circle of people
out
that
in
I
Scotland
trust.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Dude,
mean,
I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in a country town, one school, and I'm working.
I feel that as well. I get that.
Yeah.
People ask me all the time about why I'm not in Toronto and all this, and I always say, "Oh, I'm in Toronto all the time." Like it's not.
I'll go where the work is.
I'm going there. And if I gotta be there tonight for some kind of networking, whatever, I don't know what it is. I'll do it. But out here, I got room to ride my motorcycle.
Yeah, man.
I got.
Do his own thing.
I'm
Play some
right next
music,
to
hang out. You got
my
your-
dad and hanging out, and it's all
Which
fine.
is important,
I don't
right?
mind it.
Yeah, my dad lives on my property, and I shit on him sometimes. I love you, man, but fucking piss me off sometimes. But I'm really grateful to have him around.
Shout out to Dad.
Yeah, shout out to dads around. Yeah, but he's like great. It's great having him there. That man cannot live in Toronto, and it'd be hard for him being away from his from everybody. And
Sure.
it would just be too hard, and it's not worth it because life is not like this is our career and what we do and what we love. It literally fills our souls. I know it does.
Well, a lot
but
of people.
that balance is so goddamn key.
Well, people are always trying to line up everything so perfectly in their life. Like they got to be in the right place, right time, this and that. And they're lining it up so perfectly that they actually drop things like happiness and other things by the wayside because they're focused on something that ends up being kind of I don't know, false or whatever.
Well, you realize how short-lived it is sometimes, right? But like, you also forget that people are watching, and you never know who's going to watch your stupid, your betting commercials or your like McLobster or whatever. Like you don't know.
Or
who's
you're
watching.
going again podcast.
True.
Or it's honestly, or this like listening to these
Never know.
these great things. I love that you guys are doing this. By the way, I think it's great. You're gonna have so many cool people on. All you know are cool ass. Like
we got way cooler people than you lined up.
I can't even believe I'm here. I'm like
them,
I'm a little comedian. Like I was after who was it again? First.
Oh, Sean Lawrence. Are you
Sean
kidding?
Lawrence, like one of the most decorated like SWAT team.
Yeah,
members,
big
like
time.
been all over the world. And I was like, yeah, who am I going after? I'm like Sean Lawrence. So it's like whatever.
Hey, listen, we're going to talk. We're having conversations with our friends.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
right.
and it's sort of motivated by people in the industry, and it felt like we were supposed to kind of do this in a way, just because of the people that we've run into or the people that we know.
What happens when we get together and we hang out?
We
And
shoot the shit.
We shoot
talk.
the shit. We talk about, and it always ends up being about the industry and things that we've done usually, and what we're doing or thinking about, right? Like,
Absolutely.
and I love like any podcast I listen to only has to do with the industry. Dana Carvey and like they're armchair expert.
We'll find
usually.
an audience,
Yeah, 100%.
and our subject matter will be varied. It's all good.
But also, how interesting to be a Canadian version of what happens in Canada and all the Americans that come up and work with you and work with us versus listening to some American. We know how America works in this industry. Canada is
True.
almost a little bit. It's close, but it's a different beast in a way. right? When we get
True.
hired, it's usually guest star roles, or we're not. It's very sometimes not the
I
lead,
get it.
right? It's always the Americans brought up.
Don't even get me started.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, oh, I'm sure it works that way as well, right? Like, but it's interesting to see the perspective from the industry and Canadian side, because everyone just thinks LA and, well, not so much New York anymore. It's
Yeah, you're
more,
right.
But I mean, we grew up with that,
Yeah.
and I would still love, like, speaking of on the effect of working where we need to go. I'll go to California and work and then fly home.
No, yeah, when nobody wants to go to California because of the beaches and you know all the beauty that is there. Nobody would want to.
I don't want to do that.
Disgusting.
Ew.
Come to Toronto.
Yeah.
Hey, we have beaches.
We have beach.
Now, speaking of Toronto, we have beach.
Yeah, it's about this long.
Speaking of Toronto, you guys, we're very fortunate to have been born and raised near one of the biggest film centers in the world.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Other people have to move here.
That's fair.
So people have to move from all over Canada to either Vancouver, Toronto, Montreal,
How many actors
Winnipeg.
do we know from Saskatchewan?
Correct.
Yeah.
They're not making the big movies and the TV shows in Saskatchewan other than, Corner Gas, which I was the stunt coordinator of their movie and was very good in it.
I love that show.
The movie, not the series.
I love Corner Gas.
Yeah. Shout out to Corner Gas. I was very fortunate to be born and raised 1 hour from one of the largest film
Okay,
centers.
so I should speak to that as well. Like, when I say I'm in a small town, I'm an hour and a half away, which is still very easy to get to where we need to be.
People in LA,
It's all about perspective.
people in LA are an hour and a half, and they live in LA.
They live in LA and they're still that far. Well, honestly,
true.
people in Toronto before the pandemic happened, they were taking the subway an hour to an audition.
That's true.
We drove an hour and a
That's
half.
true.
I'm like, well, what the
Yep.
what the fuck?
Absolutely.
100%.
I'm not gonna. I don't like. It's the same difference, and you're living this. What it seems. I mean, your energy is your energy, but stressful like life of trying to like make it in the city. I was like, fuck. Get out of there, man.
Oh yeah.
Take an hour radius anywhere.
In the last few years, I think it was even before all this COVID shit started, but obviously the city's getting so intense with traffic and constant like people, everything around that a lot more has been shooting in Hamilton or surrounding areas, right?
Cambridge.
I mean,
Tons.
Cambridge, tons are here.
Brantford.
Yep.
We shot October Faction in Cambridge. We shot
right.
Mayor of Kingstown in Brantford.
Oh yeah.
I literally one day in my life I got to walk to work, and that was on Handmaid's Tale.
Well, my last movie I did was a Hallmark movie. The holding place title, The Holiday Switch. Sounds like a swinger movie, but it's not.
Damn,
The Holiday Switch.
Put your keys in the bucket. Yeah.
Holiday Switch. That's funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, it's about this girl who switches their bags, and she gets a novel, and it's this they don't know who the novelist is, and they all fall in love with them, and I'm the older grizzly brother of the romance novelist brother who's like in this small town. He's like, no, I don't write these novels. Like anyway, but it was super close. I drove 20 minutes to work. Wow,
amazing.
Amazing. I got to stay at home. I had my kid covered with like mom or babysitter, my dad, whatever, and I was home. With the exception of working shift and night shoots, being home at 6 a.m., 8 a.m. Whatever.
And it really is just the traffic. It's I could care less if I was working downtown Toronto and there was no traffic on the way.
Whatever.
God, who cares?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Or give me that HOV lane.
Yeah, I take it anyway. But.
Yeah, we talk about that.
yeah, I can't help myself.
Yeah,
I did a Michael Douglas movie right here in Cambridge, and just across the river, about as the crow flies, 4 blocks from my house.
Yeah.
And while I was on set, they said, well, okay, we're going to have a guy come around the corner and he's going to slip and fall. Did you bring a pad? And I said, uh-huh.
Let's go home.
And I went home and got it.
Let's go home, get real quick.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah,
well, we've done a number of car commercials in Ayr or Brantford or Hamilton, like all right here.
Well, we all just did they built the town for Reacher. Speaking of Reacher, they built that. That's not very far. Where's that town built? Marlborough?
Really?
Where we did the Kia commercial. Remember, which is another funny thing. I was the driver for the new Kia electric car, and then I see you on set. You're like, yeah, I'm doing the stunt driving tomorrow.
Oh, that's right. But that was that's in Toronto, right?
Yeah, that's outside of Toronto, but like still, it's like a whole American town they just built like, and how many more things are going to just shoot there because it looks like a ambiguous American
apparently
town.
they're going to keep it,
which is amazing.
Yeah,
because that'll just help us, right?
It's stunning.
Yeah, and they're building the hub, the Netflix hub, and Hamilton is studio after studio right now. My friends,
really,
shout out to Green Door Studio, my co-director I work with a lot on sketch stuff and recently dramatic stuff, Tyler Shazma. He has a 8,000 square foot studio on Upper James, like just like they're popping up left, right, and center in his. Yeah. So I mean, it's happening, man.
And one in maybe North Bay or something happening, or
there's a new studio being built.
Well, they got lots of tags.
That's another one
lots of and how many
tons
movies,
of shows.
Yeah, exactly right.
You know?
So they shoot up there all the time.
I shot Cardinal there.
I wanted to get on Cardinal so bad.
We shot Carter there. Andrew and I shared that show, and The Trickster.
Yeah. I want to get on. My dream would be a cool Western. I would love to do. I mean,
it's always our.
Hey,
it's, right? Every stunt guy has a little cowboy in him. And
what the hell does that mean?
Yeah, I know. My first
right here.
It's in my heart.
Sorry, keep going.
No, the first Western I did.
I got broke back. Yeah.
The first Western I ever did was Super Dave Osborne.
Oh my God, I love Super.
What do you mean?
They hired me to coordinate the Wild West episode of Super Dave Osborne.
That's fucking.
We got
awesome.
no time limit on this, right? What do you guys?
No,
all's good. If you see me doing stuff over here,
you wanna end?
No, I want to keep going.
You want to leave?
I want a little more whiskey. Keep talking. This is great.
We're at 45 minutes. Yeah, I was waiting for you guys to.
Shit. It's all good. It's all good. How you doing in there, Deanna?
Oh, you're just sleeping.
You hear this little voice. All good.
Yeah. She goes, "It's true. We all do have a little cowboy in us."
Sorry, Deanna. For my guests' inappropriate behavior.
Yeah, a comedian. I get away with it. I say whatever I want. Yeah. Speaking of comedy, yeah. Well,
speaking of comedy, tell us about what you do.
Well, we were supposed to do a little something. Sasquatch.
Oh yeah,
we're still going there.
Right. Yeah, we're going there. It's on.
Cheers,
it's on the mind. Yo, cheers, buddy. Hey,
cheers,
let's reach in. Let's do it.
Another
clink.
Yeah, comedy was predominantly what I kind of started with, and back before I wanted to do anything, it was all sketch comedy.
So you're funny?
No. wait,
really
ready?
Like it.
Ready? Are you funny?
Okay, take two.
Yeah.
So you funny?
Yeah, I'm funny. 4 months later,
hire this man.
I got the job. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking funny.
I'm a funny
Spin
guy.
around a bowl, flip him off, walk out.
Awesome.
He's like, God damn. I'm wearing like assless chaps. He's like, and he wants to be in a Western.
I like this guy.
I like the cut of this guy's jib.
Yeah, Andrew wrote a pretty awesome Western.
Oh my God. Did he tell you that I read it?
Yeah, he told me you read it.
Not comedy, but yeah.
No, not comedy, but
it's wicked.
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect when I read that, and that thing lined up, and I thought, and it was just the beginning of it.
Yeah.
When it ended, I was like, holy shit, and it was so full. It was like it had so many great characters and line, like everything, man. I didn't know where it was going. It was written well. Characters were amazing. It was so gritty. Felt good.
I think it needs to be honest with you, I actually read it last night.
Oh, did you?
I did. I read it. It had been a number of months, and I thought I was finished. And I'll be honest, I don't think I am.
That's the problem. A painter wonders when he's finished this painting, and one more brushstroke could actually ruin it.
Well, I agree.
So I would leave it until we're ready to shoot this.
So
okay.
Another like what you just said, my best friend Charlie, another thing he taught me, he goes, everyone has 1,000 stories. Like you can keep writing all day, you can ruin your painting. He goes, pick something that you feel good about. When I was doing my first short, and he says, just make it. It may not be good. It may be good. You'll know where you're at though. At least you've done a thing.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's what I've been doing. And that is, even for my last thing I just directed before I went to Florida last week, I just did it. And I'm so happy with that kind of shit. So, yeah, you can keep working on something. You're like, fuck, I should just left that fucking thing alone, or just done it.
What's interesting though is here Andrew wrote it. He reread a script last night that we all read.
Yes.
A couple 3 months ago.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
and we thought was fantastic. I think you should take our word
Maybe.
at this juncture.
Maybe. Yeah. We can talk about it later, but
You talk to 10 people,
but I have
and
reasons.
8 people say the same thing. You're probably...
Yeah. You're
to
on
some
the right-
degree.
To some degree.
To some degree.
Wait
Now,
till you read the thing he's writing now.
Is it...
without a doubt, it's another drama. It's a very heavy thriller.
It would be.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's-
we would have talked about it.
We talked about it.
But it is easily in my opinion. I mean, when you go from writing a fucking really a western full of characters and locations and literally crossing certain countryside and all this stuff, it gets complicated, and you have to do your research.
Well, yeah,
you know?
the things I write currently are logistically feasible for my budget and what I want
Sure.
to do and my people I have around me.
That's what I'm writing right now.
So I get that. But, and to speak on what you're writing right now, another just thing that happens to Canadian filmmakers, do you guys find that they get safe? Everybody gets safe. Everyone's so fucking safe.
Just a second.
Yeah, we've talked
There's
about this
an
like a
old-
billion
dude,
times.
There's an old
Yeah.
adage that I made up. I think I made it up.
I mean, I don't know. Is that just too? We say it at the same time.
Well, if nobody comments on where it's from,
Canadians
yeah.
Canadians budget. No, Canadians
Yeah.
write
Right
to the
to
budget,
budget.
and Americans budget to the writing.
Which is the way.
So if I tell you I have $1 million, you're going to write your movie, and we're going to spend $1 million. But in Hollywood, most American big shows, they will write what the hell they want, and you will budget to that.
like how much money the Mayor of Kingstown, we know.
Yeah, I
Right.
know. It's incredible.
It's insane. You know, that quality of show compared to the stuff that we do here. Even the shorts. I try to make a short, and I'm not gonna slander anybody, but it was pushed against constantly for 3 years, this fucking movie. I was just trying to make a movie, and it got pushed back constantly for this couple things we want to do. We want to do a throat slit. Whatever, you know, you can do it tastefully, you can film it a certain way. It kept getting denied, pushed around. I was like, can we just fucking do it? Who cares? Well, it'll offend. I'm like, I don't care who it offends. Those people won't be watching it.
That's right.
Right?
True.
This is part of this story. You know, so that thing I shelved it. I was just done. I was just so done with it. And the last thing I did, I fucking based it around the throat slit. And I have a beautiful, cool little movie that tells a great story. And I'm constantly thinking about it before I edit it I'm going to start editing on Thursday. I'm so excited to make this thing.
That's
you know?
incredible.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was
sweet man.
just
And I'm not trying to put down a Canadian filmmaking.
No. But I'm
at
saying
all.
this happens all the time. People are like, "Well, we don't want to offend." I'm like, "Who are you trying to offend? Who cares?" Oh, well, if somebody wants to buy it, I'm like, "Well, they'll buy it then," because you got to stick to your guns. You got to know if you believe in something. Like,
Agreed.
you know, like
Agreed.
Like that Western has a lot of shit in it. That,
Oh yeah.
but
I really try not to bend. I try to work within realism. I'm not trying to offend anybody.
No.
Or to not offend anybody. I'm ignoring that even possibility.
well, listen, the Terminal List. I'll talk about it again, Chris Pratt. But
Fanboy.
I watched it in the morning the other day, not knowing how heavy a certain scene was going to be.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe they had it and showed it, but it really, like, it added to everything, and it took my emotions to a different level. Without that,
Isn't that wonderful?
it was amazing.
That's what film is supposed to do.
Yeah. It was like
The purpose.
it was a stressful little morning.
If film
like, in a
isn't
good way.
supposed to frighten you, move you, upset
make
you,
you think about it.
absolutely. What is the purpose? If I don't take you somewhere your life doesn't already exist, there's no purpose. Where's the entertainment value to that?
Story, thought, the artistic nature of it. Obviously, acting has to be there. I think. I'm an actor.
It's got to make you think.
Yep.
And if nothing's gonna make anyone think if they didn't touch sort of a line or something to cross or to make to just people want to bring up a point and then see how it gets reacted to.
There's sometimes I'll make stuff and I don't know. I don't really know. I don't think about it so much, but maybe if it doesn't I won't think about it to the third level. I'll be like, okay, that's what it means to me, and then the conversation afterwards is amazing. it'll just touch everybody differently. I'm like, oh, that's a fucking great perspective on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, the Western, the way I probably think about that to what you think about, obviously way different. And right, but we all, I've thought about that script. I've actively thought about it.
I love you.
Which is right.
Thank you, man. Yeah. Speaking of fanboy, Jesus, man. Now I'm getting it.
Butcher, 4 stars, 1 heart.
He is funny.
I appreciate it.
He is funny, ladies and gentlemen.
He's
in the moment.
Yeah.
I can't do stand up. I only do sketch. I run a sketch comedy show called Smooth Comedy with my best friend Darren Menezes.
Amazing.
Yeah, I've done it for 10 years.
And where can people see this?
Hamilton, Ontario. We run out of the Staircase Theater, which has been shut down.
I love that place.
Open and closed about 3 times.
That's
now.
the place near the highway.
Yeah, I
love that place.
It's a beautiful venue.
Way back in the day, it used to be it was the epitome of what you would hope an open mic spot would be.
It's amazing.
Because as a musician, I went there and I played, and there was always people getting up doing comedy, poetry. It was like that really chill.
And that's one section.
Vibe.
That's the cafe section. Then they got the theater.
Oh wow, I didn't even know.
They have a full old theater with like old. Like,
I wondered how you did it. I gotta come see it. That's what I gotta do.
It's a monthly show with new sketches, and the best, and honestly the best quality comedians. My friend Darren curates and produces it basically, and he gets the best comedians, and we'll do.
Amazing.
It's a kids show for adults is the way we describe it. So we'll do an intro. Comedian sketch, and we have a Grimazing. We have a magician on the show every month, and he's like one of the best close-up magicians in Canada.
Wow,
yeah, it's amazing. So it's something we've done.
We were thinking about putting together an adult show for kids. Actually,
yeah, which was not we're talking about being safe.
Yeah,
but we don't want to get arrested, so we're not.
I think you should either go to therapy or go to prison. Yeah. So pick one, mate. It's the best thing for you. Anyway,
and just in case anybody thought he was serious, we're joking.
He's a joke.
Oh God, we know that.
If you have to say you're joking after, then yeah.
Then are you?
Yeah. But yeah, we wrote this. We do this sketch show. So that was the beginning thing I ever did before I got into acting. Not that you asked.
Jesus, we don't have to ask. This is not an interview.
I know, man. It's a free form.
It's a conversation.
How many seats are in that theater?
Well, okay, so we
but Andrew can ask questions.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to ask because people might come out and see your show.
Well, that the bottom theater holds about 68, 70 something, but we have since changed it to there's another spot upstairs. It has a very like New York-y kind of like open vibe. There's a bar at the back, and we just set up the chairs.
Oh, cool.
And it has risers, and we have a little green room for the comedians to sit in.
Ah, sweet.
Yeah,
sweet.
Yeah. So it's a lot of work, though, man.
Well, I'd love to come and see it.
It sounds awesome, though, dude. It sounds like fun.
I mean, don't give us a date now because this is gonna. But when we're finished, let us know because
usually once
I'd
a
love
month.
To bring my wife.
Smooth
Rhonda
comedy.
would like to see it.
I always say it's the best little night out because
Rhonda studied all the Second City stuff. She went through every level.
Yeah. I mean, that's
we'd love to see it.
We always say we hate improv, but we always end up improving after we write a sketch because we're just like it's just best buddies on stage, just making ridiculous sort of.
Well, a script is just a blueprint. You can paint the building any color you want.
As long as you know how to work with that person, it's all gravy, right? But
absolutely.
Yeah, we just do it there's no fucking reason to do it. We don't do it we don't make money. We don't.
Yeah, but but
it keeps your chops juicy, right?
It's
keeps
training,
going.
right? Like I do one community theater show a year usually, and it's so much work, but it's some of the best training I'd ever get.
Look, if it wasn't, I mean, you can do anything for money, I guess. But
I know you do.
Yeah, I do anything for money.
$1 to touch it, $2
and for
to see it.
those who want to get my tickets, I'm over here on the corner every night.
You know what
midnight.
You know what I just rewatched? Beer Fest, and the scene where they gather everybody together and Barry, he's like a male prostitute.
I haven't seen that.
Holy
I don't even know.
It's so funny, man.
Really?
He's like going through and they're trying to get him to play in the beer competition, and he's like really good at quarters, and they're like, he comes up, he goes, "Hey there, gentlemen." He goes, $1 to touch it, $2 to see it. He goes like $6. He goes, $6 for a Z job. They go, "What's a Z job?" You gotta ask. You can't afford it. I was like, it's such a great that beer fest. Those are the kind of movies that you want to be able to make.
Okay.
Down the road.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's so funny.
I just watched.
They wasted 20 minutes. That movie. Sorry to cut you off. With killing off a character And then I'm not going to spoil it because it's been around so long. I don't give a fuck. And they kill off this character. It's 20 minutes of the movie. They all go to the funeral. They all talk. And then they're like, what are we going to do? Twin brother walks in. He goes, hey there, I'm Landfill's twin brother. And he goes, I want to join your competition. I'm better at drinking beer. He's talked about you so much. I feel like I know y'all. And it would mean the world to me if you just called me Landfill. And then 20 minutes wasted to kill somebody and just bring him back as a twin brother. I'm like, that's cinema.
Cinema.
I don't even remember the names of actors in movies, and he recites the
Oh, yeah.
dialogue.
Sometimes.
Well, it depends on what it is, right?
Yeah,
But
if I connect with it.
you mentioned
$1
Wayne.
to touch it.
You mentioned Wayne's World earlier, and my
My life.
not only is my phone is like it's called Wayne's Basement.
That's
in
one
the-
thing you and I have very much in common. Is Wayne's
Yeah,
World,
and my even my license plate. I'm not going to say it, but it's an ode to Wayne's World.
Well, listen, I grew up on Wayne's World, Kids in the Hall,
Yeah.
a little bit of Monty Python, throwing that Naked Gun.
Oh man,
Like that's like my comedy. And my
and
dad,
he worked
my
with
dad,
Leslie Nielsen.
Did you?
Oh yeah, awesome.
On what? What did you work on with him?
Men with Brooms? No.
Did I not mention? I don't remember. No. Due South.
Oh right, you threw him out the back of the.
No, he threw me out.
Oh, or yeah, why would you throw him out?
Yeah,
stunt guy throws the actor out the back of the.
I worked with Leslie Nielsen several times on Due South, but one particular gag that I did was
Right.
we were in a locomotive, a diesel
I'm
locomotive.
fanboying right now, by the way.
Yeah,
I'm sure you are.
and
We know that about you now.
The theme.
The non-fanboy that's a fanboy.
Leslie Nielsen had to throw me out the
sidecar?
engineer's window
okay.
of the locomotive.
Yeah,
It was
that's
fun.
awesome.
No, but he's awesome. He's incredible.
He was one of the quickest, smartest. I think speaking of comedy and acting and the whole everything that we do, I think being a comedian and having those chops and timing,
100%.
I think is the most important thing maybe to have in the dramatic world. I think a comedian coming over to the drama world.
Oh my God.
is
Agreed.
way more it's
John
it's
Candy, Robin Williams.
some of the
Steve Martin.
some of the best performances.
Absolutely, some of the best, the most, the
Yeah.
dramatic moments. Sorry, Leslie Nielsen would speak to you at the craft service table, and he is being so serious. It's crazy, and it's a joke.
Right.
And he's amazing.
Yeah.
But in Trains, Planes, and Automobiles,
My God,
John Candy?
My dad and I. That's speaking.
That's one of the
Shout out
best.
to my fucking dad. No, we hit
Yeah.
one of our favorite movies. We watched it every year.
Hell yeah, man.
the look in his face.
My wife likes me.
Oh, there it
that-
is. That's the
Yeah.
little tiny monologue.
It's amazing. I'm getting goosebumps.
Yeah.
I worked with John Candy on a
Those
movie.
aren't pillows. Oh, that mixed up.
That was a dramatic moment. The I forget the name of the movie, but I worked with John Candy on the only film that he ever directed. And
Oh, Canadian Bacon?
nope,
Well, I believe he directed it.
Feel the rhythm.
I could
Feel
be-
the rhyme.
I don't believe so.
Come on, Jamaica.
Yeah, man. The I was standing
Cool
in the
runnings.
foyer of this house, and I heard this guy talking behind me,
Uncle Buck.
and I went, "Huh, that sounds like Norm." And I turned around. It was George Wendt from Cheers. It was
cool,
Norm.
cool.
It was wicked.
Ah.
So it was fun to meet him. But we're all standing in the foyer of this.
Oh, that was Michael Moore, Canadian Bacon. My bad.
Yeah.
Anyway.
we were standing. Look up, John. We were in the foyer of this house, and I was sitting on the transom between the living room and the dining room that kind of led to the foyer. You could see straight through,
Yeah.
and all these guys were standing in the doorway of the house trying to come up with a joke.
Yeah.
This is my last memory of John Candy, and nothing they were doing was working. Everything anybody suggested didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right sometimes.
It just didn't work.
Yeah, it was.
And then John came up with an idea, and they did it, and everybody fell apart.
Hostage for a day?
Yeah, I think so. And he turned to me and he winked.
Like he knew. Like,
Yeah, he got it.
I
And
got
it was just wicked.
Yeah, when you hit those things, you know you hit them. But yeah, the guys like that, man. Like, and again, I think most great Canadian actors are some of the best comedians in Hollywood.
Without a doubt.
Or
we could list them.
And it would be
Jim Carrey.
I got to hear.
Look at Jim Carrey's dramatic moments.
Some of the best shit I've ever seen. All of us.
Truman Show's bomb.
Yeah. Or Eternal Sunshine,
of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like one, fucking even 23 wasn't bad.
I bet.
I was like, yeah.
Oh, that is one that I didn't see.
Yeah.
I
tried it. I'll try anything. I'm a big Jim Carrey.
Me too. When I was a kid, one of my auditions, they said they wanted someone to do some stand up or something like that, or you can recite something from someone else's stand up or whatever. So I chose Jim Carrey, but I'm pretty sure I didn't understand a word of what he was actually saying. I just loved watching Jim Carrey get wacky, right? And I went in and I did this audition, and afterwards it was the epitome of the whole crickets thing, and it was like they literally looked at me like, what the fuck just happened?
You didn't associate with anything that you were doing. You're just saying words and being like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 10 seconds went by and somebody said what.
So I used to work with Rick Green when I first started, and he co-wrote the Red Green Show. And he was like the duct tape, black and white. He had glasses. He was in anyway. He was a great guy, but he used to say he would do stand up, and Jim Carrey would when he was starting, and they used to fucking hate Jim Carrey because he would just go up there and just like twist his arm around, just do all these things.
Yeah.
And he got they're like, what? He's not even going up there. Well, he's probably very prepared. Little did they know, right? He's like very thought out. Speaking of Jim Carrey, I was thinking of the mask the other day, and I was thinking just about how much, like, what a role to be able to probably do, like the mask.
It's like written for him.
It's amazing, and like what a cool, crazy fucking movie. And even when he has that, like,
that was such a good movie.
Put it on, he's like. It's like doesn't do anything. Like
even Ace Ventura and all that shit. I mean,
amazing.
It was all obviously Jim Carrey.
I know, but like, yeah, everything he does. The Grinch.
And speaking of that, man, when I was younger, I used to go to a bar in Kitchener. It's a concert bar, and Jim Carrey would come down every Saturday night and warm up the band, and I saw him 100 times.
Right?
That's amazing. Yeah.
And when you watched him at the time without knowing who
I have no idea who he is.
Yeah, did it ever resonate? You're like, this
it's
guy's
incredibly funny.
Yeah. You never know.
Tall, skinny kid.
You never know, man. Yeah, like his story is amazing. It's great.
I was just gonna say that his story in general is awesome.
Yeah, I love like Canadian actors those comedians, like John Candy. These got Eugene Levy, all the dudes from Westdale High School in Hamilton, who helped make National Lampoon. Like I'm pretty sure. Forgive me if I'm wrong.
No.
I'm pretty sure one of the writers had something to do with that whole creation, because I think Will Forte.
He did that movie.
Yeah.
What was that called? Man, that was so good.
Wasn't that good?
Yeah, I watched it like 3 times in a weekend, and I forgot all about it. I want to go back and watch it.
Bill Hader, those guys are the best, man.
They're
Barry.
Barry's awesome. Yeah.
That's would be the dream to write something like that's like the show.
Yeah.
That's the one, man.
The first season.
Sure. I don't know. Okay.
After that, I don't know. We'll see.
Here we go.
Well, but who else stars in that? Henry Winkler, right?
Yeah.
And Barry.
Yeah.
And he's the best part of
Which
it.
you
of that.
Didn't you work with the Fonz? Or
no, I've never worked with Henry Winkler.
No, somebody said something about him once where he doesn't. I think he has a hard time with lines or something like that. And he has, because he's dyslexic or something, but he just kind of does his own thing.
No, I know, I do know somebody. I'm not even going to say that here.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think I told you about it too.
I know somebody too, and I'm not going to say it either.
Are we talking about the same thing?
No, not.
Is it different?
Almost. You are referring to something that I told you.
Is it?
But I'm shutting it down.
All good. I can't remember some conversations that are
only because when it happened, I happened to be there, and he told the director, and I just happened to be the only one.
Dude.
While he was sitting there going,
"This isn't live. Edit it out."
No. For the benefit of the listening audience, we're going to give you that name in a future episode. That's our Easter egg.
Yeah.
So stay tuned and click that bell.
True. There's just a few select comedians out there listening to this podcast, shitting themselves.
Speaking to shift gears, yeah, I know, eh? Yeah, fuck. Yeah,
Don't mention me.
Yeah, talking about being blacklisted. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is it a real thing?
Depends on how you look at it. We can always record this show, but if nobody wants to play it,
no, but like, is it a real thing? Because I've heard of some actors and some people doing some pretty shitty things on set, but they still come back and they work, work constantly.
I think.
Is that being bankable?
Okay,
what is that?
I think that. Well, you might have more to say on this. I don't know, but being blacklisted is very much a thing that is attempted, and it's up to you to prevail, I suppose.
Yeah.
What do you think?
And being the subject of a blacklist at one juncture in my career, I had a very powerful stunt coordinator attempt to stop me from working.
No,
and
really?
a number.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
People who fear you will
wild story.
Do what they
longevity, especially.
It's a long story, but he convinced other people not to hire me and do whatever.
Which is a scary thing to think about.
Well,
sometimes.
it is,
yeah.
but no one's getting rid of me. So in the time that happened, I wrote and directed my first film.
Yeah.
Then I produced my first film. So I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
And then I just went back to work.
Yeah, the whole thing is you just hope good people can recognize, because that's another.
They did.
I was going to say another part of our industry is, talent, working your ass off, longevity, knowing what you have, working with it, nepotism a little bit, meeting people, which is, I want to touch on that and remind me, but is also working with good people. That's like maybe what, like 30-40% is like, I want to work with somebody who I know is going to be, I'm working on set all day, every day with somebody. I want them to be a good person as well as talented.
This is a relationship business.
Yeah.
If I don't like you, why do I want to work with you?
Why would you want to?
If I'm going to spend the next 90 days on a feature film and I have to work for 14 hours a day, give and a take,
sure,
weekends off, why would I want to work with you? I will bring you on because you're a good guy, you're punctual. I tell my stunt guys, if you're not going to be on time, don't come. You will be an embarrassment to me. You will be an embarrassment to yourself, and I'll have already found someone else to do the job. I go to work. I'm so early. All the ADs prepare my room first because they know that's my habit. And I expect the same from all my stunt guys.
Well, that's an athletic approach again, right? Like your coach should be there first. And like you come into the gym workout and they're already there. Randy Butcher's already there.
I lead by example.
Yeah, exactly.
Big time.
My dentist taught me punctuality is a virtue. Yeah.
Your dentist.
My dentist. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Do you know what time is the best? You know what time is the best time to go to a dentist? 2:30.
I will flip this fucking table. Yeah, but yeah, being punctual.
No, 2:30.
2:30. 2:30. Hey man, I lost my teeth. Don't do that kind of shit.
2:30.
Yeah, we can edit that.
I like it. I like.
Yeah, we're not editing shit. I tell dad
funny.
jokes. It's over. It's all good.
Sometimes I catch myself. I'll tell him to. I'll be like, God damn it, it's happening.
You're a dad, man. That's happening.
There are times when I actually know. You almost get a sense of what the crew is going to be like, just based on maybe not necessarily who hired you. You know, I don't necessarily have that experience, but based on who the director is or who the producers are or whatever, you understand like a vibe that you're going into. Well,
you hope sometimes because you just bring your own energy, you bring what we know, but then some of that shit's uncontrollable, right? And
you look at the call sheet and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, but that's hiring. But that's the business too. People can just, especially Americans, they'll just call each other out immediately. It'll feel really negative and stuff, but they just move on. Like you've both seen it. I've seen people scream at each other and just be like, all right, and then just keep on going.
100%.
Like,
sure.
All right, fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they probably still work, but like it happens all the time. Yeah. Not so much with actors. Like I would never want to put myself in a position where my work ethic has been. I have talked back once to a producer, and I even caught myself doing it, but I felt it was pretty noted. Like it was warranted. But I even apologized pretty quick after. It was it was for COVID testing. I'll just say it. Like it was. I got tested 9 or 10 times, and I had a head cold. And it was negative. And I was like, okay, we want you to do some wild lines at lunch. I said, okay. another producer just saw you drinking a lemon ginger tea and wants to give you another COVID test.
Oh,
I was like, do you know how much hell I'm going through trying to even like just do this? I want to be here, but like I'm fucking, like, I'll do it again. I'll keep doing it. But I'm like, we're 3 days into this thing. How much money's invested? You recast or anyway? So I'm sitting downstairs and they go, okay, we'll do the COVID test. We're waiting for the results again. And they go, can we do the wild lines? And I was just like, no, we can't. Not until that COVID test is done. And I was like,
why would they even ask?
Right? And I was like, and then I caught myself. I was like, fuck, let's go do the fucking wild lines. Jesus.
Yeah, but
fuck.
Well,
I was like, I'm sorry, but
way,
like, you understand. She goes, I get it. I'm like, okay, thank you.
Maybe it's not her fault, but fuck that.
Go up, kill the wild lines, but like, get the negative again. I was like, in my head, I was like, what? Well, why? No, I was like, no. I was like, what am I doing? But
hey man, if your morals and your principles aren't in check, then fuck it.
That's fair too. You gotta kind of stand up for yourself and understand how to.
Yeah, totally. I mean, yeah, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, that kind of shit, opinion. Right? Yeah, that little stuff all the time.
That's
happens.
Dumb.
And yeah, that's dumb.
It is.
It is like
dumb.
Our industry puts us and pushes us constantly to behave in a certain manner, and it's but sometimes you also have to like stand your ground a little bit. I think, which is something that we learn along the way. If I want to retake a scene and I didn't, we have time, I will say something now and be like, is it okay if we maybe try something this way? And if they say no, then I'll say, all right.
Don't ever ask a question that requires a yes or no answer. I need to do this over.
Yeah, I'd like to do it again, please.
That's right.
Yeah.
I need to do it.
Yeah. Usually I just go, we have time?
No, don't ask. See, I would have answered no.
I'm not there yet. Yeah.
See, that's my point. I would have answered no to that question. So don't ask a question that requires a yes or no answer. And just as an actor, say, I need another one.
That's fair.
And that guy will say, well, we don't have time. You say, you don't have time to put this bullshit into your movie. I need another one.
Yeah, that's fair too.
And if you're not willing to, and I tell this to Andrew all the time, my wife's written a novel. It's awesome.
Family writers.
Yes, that's correct. But as we're doing this right now, this podcast, my wife is upstairs working on her novel, a rewrite. It's not even a rewrite; it's a cleanup. That's all it is, and it goes to the publisher.
It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful story.
Really good.
So now, but what I say to Andrew as a writer, and what I say to my lady as a writer, if you're not willing to argue your point, what is the point of having what you just put in the movie in the movie? Mm-hmm. So you, as an actor, if you've got to be willing to argue your point, and that's what. I've seen so many actors go back to their trailer.
Upset, not happy with
100%.
their work.
Fuck you, I'm not doing it. If you don't want this, fuck you, I'm not doing it. And I agree with them, and then they go. Some producer has to go over and console them. They come out, and let's just do it. Let's do it, because you're putting your heart and soul into something. You're being paid a tremendous amount of money for your experience, your heart, your skill, and that person needs to do that because that's their life.
And never. Sorry to interrupt.
No, don't
and never do you. The hell was I just gonna say? Holy shit!
Something really important.
Yeah, it was wicked important.
We all have little cowboys.
Fuck! It was something you were saying.
Do yourself a disservice. I feel like it's gonna go.
No, let's not even start guessing. We'll just end up. What the hell was I gonna say?
Well, you just have to argue your point.
Well, yeah, and that has taken a while, and I've been in. I'm not sure that maybe you guys, but like over a decade easily, and it's taken a while to even be able to. I talk to directors openly. And we always seek this validation. But I'm like, I was feeling maybe we could try something like this, but I still speak that way. But it's even taken me that long to even to speak my mind, to be like, I think like I would like to maybe try it like this, but I'm still like, I'd like to try it like this. Yeah, if we could do that, let's just it's just like my language, but it's taken me that long to even get to this point. But I've seen. And what I was gonna say was that everything that we do is for what happens in response. It's never we're doing everything just to have fun and do it today. We're waiting on what happens after the fact when what you did today ends up in a movie
or and people start watching it, and you have an audience, and then you want to get more work.
Yeah,
there's all kinds of things that come out of it. So if you're not happy with what you're doing today,
Exactly.
then and you have to walk to your trailer feeling the walk of shame, and going, fuck, am I going to work tomorrow? All these things come to your mind.
Yeah. But I also think of it, like I try to make it, it has to add to the story too. Like I always think about story and my character. I'm like, I've changed lines in the last 3 movies I've done. I'll be like, no, this doesn't really make sense. This guy wouldn't do that. He wouldn't say that. And they're like, yeah, that's true.
I think that's a good actor who thought about their character.
100%.
Now, I see what you just said there is incredibly important. Yes, as an actor, you have a character. No one knows that character better than you.
No.
That said, no one knows the story better than the director. Or perhaps the writer. Maybe it's the same person. Sure. So that person is going to sit and have a chat with you on set or off set.
Which is the responsibility of that,
That's correct. So you will argue your point. And if you don't, you're not bringing your best actor to the set. I need you to bring the best you have. That brings me to something else. But then the director, who is completely 100%, very rarely, prepared, can argue his point. That he only needs you to do this to tell his story. Yeah. And if you everything you do has to be in sync with telling his story.
His or her.
Correct?
Yeah.
Well, I think that there's something to be said about having trust. Like there's a part of your role is to trust in who's collaborating with you.
I think the idea of like a conversation with like the director and or writer is just as important as speaking your mind with maybe dialogue or the character's portrayal of whatever's happening.
Agreed.
Just even that conversation, I mean, sometimes you don't have time for that, granted, but if the conversation is just as important to argue and or talk about like why that makes sense and why I should do this or why he or she should tell me not to. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, great point. Fuck yeah, all right, forget it.
Now, having said that, it does depend. If you're on set today, today's your only day because you were hired to say one line, and there are 5 other actors who are the stars.
Yeah, you fuck off.
yeah. Piss off, dude.
Yeah.
How much did you have to think about your character? You're the bartender in this scene.
Yeah, sorry. I should speak on behalf of multiple days on something.
Yeah.
Like,
no, true
or
enough.
at least multiple lines,
an arc.
A character hilarious. That plays a real pivotal role,
not a guest role part. Yeah, which I've seen that. Not only with background, but like day players where even I've thought about that. And I go, it'd be really nice to. I'm like, no, you're here for a day, man. They've been here for 4 months where they don't care.
But even if you are just there for a day, at the very least, fuck off if you're gonna get to that dirty.
Everyone's gonna look at you a certain way, and then you become. You were talking about that blacklisted. That work with somebody. You're like,
but okay. that is somebody that's lacking a certain professionalism. And so at the end of the day, whether you're there for 4 months or you're there for 1 day, your professionalism is what's got to be brought. So
yeah, agreed.
And I think it's like comedy timing. It's all in there.
You know. In the stunt world, a lot of stunt coordinators will get upset with another stunt performer coming up with an idea, especially in front of others, because that undermines the coordinator. Yeah. And I'll tell you straight up, every time I have guys on set, I don't care how many. If you have a better idea than I do,
tell me.
I don't care if the director's standing there or the producer.
Yeah.
Speak up.
Yeah.
You're more than welcome to speak up.
But this is what makes you an anomaly because not everyone thinks like this. They should. I agree with you 100%.
This is the John Candy moment. Everybody has to come together and they're like, okay, well, how could we maybe work this knife stab out a little different for the camera's
100%.
sake for technical issues? When I was on Reacher, I fucking did most of that myself. You weren't the coordinator, but like no. I thought about it. I knew the scene. I knew where the camera was. And and I was told something. It Alan Richardson doesn't give a fuck. He's gonna do his thing.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'll just work with him. Alan and I talked about it real quick, and I got a hard on, and I got rid of that, and fanboying.
Yeah.
It's hard to do.
I'm glad this is on video.
It was hard.
5 minutes to camera.
It was hard to do. Take 24 times with a raging boner. Anyway, but
Our rating just changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, G. Well, I don't even know what ratings are anymore. Man.
They are.
Yeah,
You can watch
rated R
South
is
Park
not a
at 9
thing.
a.m.
Yeah, exactly, right. South Park's what they anyway.
But see, what's funny what you said there.
Well, I just worked with him, and it looked great, and it was completely different than what was said was going to happen. And I'm so glad that I was able to come in with that knowing.
But that happens a lot in film. Is that or TV, doesn't matter. The fight scene, what happens, a lot of times is created by the stunt guys. Like I'll walk over on Mayor of Kingstown. We had to do like
That was awesome, by the way.
Yeah, but I had like 10 fights between 2 and 3 guys spread out throughout the yard. So I went to all those stunt guys and I said, guys, you've got 1 hour.
You say 10?
Like 10.
There had to be
10
more.
No. 10 couples, 10
I
twos
remember
and 10
that.
threes.
I remember that day.
Oh. And I just
But anyway,
said,
it was a
I
lot.
just told everybody, can you please come up with like 10, 15 moves each and just create fights.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to intersperse you throughout the yard. And I hire those professionals for that purpose. The thing about this is that I want everyone's input. I want your ideas. I want your input 100%. If I didn't need that, I could hire anyone for a day.
Yeah, true.
If you don't bring your entire career to me every single day, I have no use for you.
That's the best.
Totally agreed. And
Yeah.
that is something flying around my face here. That is also just being good with yourself and not having your ego, man.
right? Bringing that ego to a certain point.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing is that not most people think like that.
Yeah, and the days also, speaking of like fight scenes, of the days of everyone waiting and then coming in for like one-on-one, like those old school fight scenes, that's over. Like everyone wants that gritty Mayor Kingstown.
Yeah, they
like,
want to see some real street shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Well,
that's where
haymakers. That's where the coordination comes in.
Rolling, yeah.
Because you have to have these separates, but then you have to blend them, and people move through it.
But
Yeah.
speaking of this, not a lot of coordinators would have been the same way at all. And maybe some of them, of course, but you gave all these guys in that photo that opportunity to play and have fun and be like boys do when they I always think of the movie industry when things get too serious. I always think, yeah, but we're all just kids trying to make movies. Like that's where it all started.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be. That's why we love our jobs, because we get to somehow stay as close to being born as possible.
Yeah.
Just we're not doing jobs. We're playing like we were meant to.
I play cops and robbers for a living.
Yeah, I get schedules, I get budget, but at the same time, like you can't lose that sort of not whimsical feeling, but like that idea of playing.
No, it's
because
whimsical.
if you lose that, you lose kind of the magic of the
Absolutely.
whole
You
thing,
get but you're inspired to create something that's real.
Yeah.
We're
we're
pretending.
And if somebody you come to set trying to, I know that guys come to set. I do it still. I mean, I know I'm your kid and all this, but I come to set thinking, fuck, I want to impress this guy. I want to impress her. I want to make sure that these people are impressed.
How does it feel?
I fanboy for sure. Are you Philadelphia cream cheese? That Angel? That.
Well, the new one is Humberly. That's shifted.
I know it's shifted, but I'm old school. So
old school cream cheese guy.
But guys come to set and they want to do their best, not just to appease, let's say, Randy on Mayor of Kingstown, but at the same time, they also want to get work afterwards. They don't want to get yelled at for something, whatever. So when he went around to all these guys saying, I need you to make up some fights, all of a sudden these guys were like, really? We're just going to make up fights and play and all this stuff? And he trusted in them.
Yeah.
He trusted them. to use their professionalism and what they've done in their past
They wouldn't-
to
Well,
bring with them.
They wouldn't be there if I didn't trust
Well, I was
them.
gonna say, adding on to that,
Man.
you've trusted me multiple times, not necessarily completely knowing, but you've been like, well, I'll give Kym a chance.
Hey, you said you could. I believe you.
Yeah, we
I'll
certainly
give Kym a
talked about it
chance.
afterwards and thought, fuck, we
man.
why did we give him a chance? But
But hey, man,
you know, we did.
Yeah.
And we stand.
you felt that little. Cowboy,
I shouldn't say we.
That
He
little,
did, but
that little cowboy was right. Yeah. But I mean, that doesn't happen all the time either, right? Like I've been very grateful and super. My dad and I do talk about it a lot. I'm like, fucking the butchers, man. Like, Randy, man. What a cool another way to get work versus what I'm doing on my own, right? And to prove to you that I can do these kind of things. Those guys too. All those guys in that photo, right? They're always constantly proving not only to themselves but like to you, right?
Hell
Being
yeah,
like,
man.
Yeah, man, I can do this, I can do that. Or if I can't do something, I'll be like, nah, man, Randy, I can't do that. I'll die. Like, straight
And
up.
I would expect that you would answer me that way.
You would hope so, especially in that stunt category.
In the
right?
stunt business, you cannot lie.
Yeah.
Man,
Well,
People's
honest-
lives and limbs are at stake.
And
Yeah, honest
actors-
shit goes a long way.
and that goes for all sides of the industry. I mean, how many stories do we know this year alone of actors
Well,
getting really hurt because a producer or
But
somebody's
you know what? A lot of that is, it's a lack of integrity. Integrity in this world today has gone out the fucking window. There, you know, and if you have integrity, you can
Integrity.
you can just follow honesty and follow. It's like so. Anyway, I don't know. That's
what
another
working
topic.
good-
But
that's with working with, you know, you want to work with awesome people and you want to hold yourself to a different standard, right? I always hold myself to a different standard when I go. I've been doing a lot of Hallmark movies lately, and but they're some of the same. I've worked with these directors multiple times.
yeah, a lot of them are like produced by like the same guy.
Yeah, but these directors are the one I just worked with, Lane Schaefer Bishop. She's great. She's from LA and she's doing these and she's worked forever. But she pulled me aside on this last one. She goes, in 40 years, you're one of the first actors I've rehired at a certain capacity.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck, that means the world. She goes, and the notes. She's just like, I trust you completely. What you do in this, and and that's a hard world to act in. Those
Nice.
Good for you,
movies.
man.
Those
Nice.
Hallmark movies are hard. People don't get it.
Yeah, but
It's
just,
a fucking weird
Well,
world.
hold on.
I'll go on record as saying I absolutely love Hallmark movies.
All right, man.
I'm gonna
I
go
get
on.
it.
I'm gonna go
I
on
get it.
record of saying I don't. But no. I would love if you actually expanded on that a little bit, just on why is it? Why? What do you mean?
Well, because you know from watching them, the algorithm is usually the same in some capacity. There's low anxiety. They all follow the same kind of. That's its own world, right?
Yeah, there's a formula.
There's a formula to it. When you're acting in them, though, when you read for these roles, they're about 8 to 9 pages usually. The movie's a 9-act movie for commercial purposes. Right? Yeah, right?
Whoa.
Nobody knows this shit.
yeah.
9-act
Holy
movie.
shit.
Yeah, so and Hallmark just wants to sell more cards. But they make these. That's what they make these movies so they can sell
They consider
cards.
this 9 acts. This is something I don't know about.
Yeah. So
Holy
it's interesting,
shit.
right? So I know somebody I just worked with who I respect very much. But just I'll tell my agents if it's a good short film, please let me audition, put my hat in the ring. And Mariah Owen is this girl I worked with, and she's written a couple of these.
Yeah, I've met her.
You met Mariah?
Yeah.
Superstar producer, across the board, man. Great writer.
I don't
And
know
she wrote
about
one of these bad boys, and she taught me that. She goes, it's 9 acts. She found the algorithm, sold the fucker, makes her own shit. I was like, okay. But the point is, they're about 9-page auditions, and you get 3 acts, so you get the whole arc of the character in the audition. Sometimes the writing isn't great, but you have to believe it no matter what. That's acting, right?
Big time.
Now put yourself in a position where you get the role, and you're surrounded, and everyone's like fucking laughing, but you believe in everything you're saying and everything you're doing. The emotions can't go too far either way. We're talking about being safe Canadian filmmakers. Yeah, that's what these are. There's a safest.
Big time.
I can't point at a female. I can't raise my voice in a certain way. You try not to, right? There are rules to the game.
When did you get these rules handed to you?
Hand fed. Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like, who gave it to you? Did your agent say to you, just so you know, or was it when you finally landed the role?
I've been offered twice, which is amazing to get offered anything versus not auditioning. But the first one I did was
big time.
right when the pandemic started. It was one of the first things being filmed when we just started the pandemic, so it wasn't long ago. Maybe was that 3 years, 4 years? I've done about five of them now, which is pretty good. Like 5 of those movies are awesome.
It's fucking awesome,
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
we know of 5 Hallmark movies that are awesome.
Yeah,
I always
for
play
damn sure.
I always play the bad guy because I don't have a good jawline. I'm not tall enough, and I'm dark featured. So I'm always like I never kiss a chick or kiss anybody. I'm like, God damn it! The last one was the first time I got to kiss somebody, and I was the brother. I wasn't a bad guy. I was just like, I was a little misogynistic in it, but I finally got to kiss somebody. And I was like, this is amazing.
And it was I imagine it was another man.
It was I wish.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, there's a whole thing on that. Speaking of, the lead was a gay man from Australia. He would change his accent, and he would play the most macho guy I've ever seen in my life. And then after he'd be like, yeah, and I'd be like, I love you, man. He's one of the best dudes I met. But he would just, speaking of acting,
Yeah,
like some of
that's
these
wicked.
movies.
Wait,
Yeah,
a
man,
gay
it was
guy playing a straight guy? That's not right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, well, he's lost it. It's gone the other way too, right? Where he's lost so many roles to straight men playing gay men, which is just like,
I think that's the history of Hollywood.
which is the history of Hollywood. So we're
Yeah,
trying
it
to
should be.
find
It should
this
be.
equality
Come
and
on.
stuff, but then we still kind of like
Well,
gotta
I
play
think we
these
should-
characters.
Should play
I've seen
whatever
this-
you can play.
I've seen this dude is one of the fucking phenomenal actor. I don't know if I should say his name or not, whatever. But and he would just completely turn himself and he would be this amazing Hallmark dude, but it was not him at all, and it's like
Yeah.
a very hard
Well,
world to
that's-
be in. Yeah, but they're not normal movies. You know, the emotions are not full on. They're not. That's not the way not the way we're speaking right now. Not the way a gritty character. I don't know. It's just weird, man.
Do you know why that is?
Because
It's an obviously an
That thing
audience
that was
thing, but
flying
it's-
by your face is now
Yeah, yeah,
flying
yeah,
by
yeah.
yours.
Yeah.
it's
It's a whiskey bug.
why it is because they sell. I feel like that's almost Canadian economy right now. Is like Hallmark.
Yeah, but is it that
You know? We're filming so many of them here. I guess I didn't really get to the point why they're hard to act in, but the world is just it's manufactured. It's a fluffy sort of manufactured world.
but they're trying to
But
keep you from like crying on
People cry all the time.
There's a formula. They have their
Yeah.
audience.
yeah, it's interesting stuff.
Yeah, man. Yeah, there's but I mean I love it.
They spend a lot of money.
They spend a lot of money on them. They turn them over quick. They shoot those bastards in 14 days, and you have to learn, and you got to come in prepared and ready.
And if anyone from Hallmark's listening, I'm available as a director.
Yeah, and when they shoot quick.
yeah.
They shoot quick.
I shoot
They
quick.
do about 8 pages a day,
Yeah.
which is
For 3 weeks, 4 months, or I mean,
No.
4 weeks.
14 days. So weekends
Oh,
off, 14 days.
Jeez. Okay.
They'll
So
shoot-
it turns out about a month.
They'll shoot an entire movie
Roughly.
in about a month.
3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks. Yeah.
Wow.
Entire, like those movies are, that's what they're shot in. Always. It's crazy. So it's fast work. But I mean, I'm happy to get it. It's a progression in my career.
Great.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Love it.
It's commercials, it's a little bit of TV, some stunt work.
Did you ever work?
Hallmark.
Did you ever have a scene in a location that was a hallway and you felt like you were hitting your hallmark? And you. Sorry.
Holy shit. You want to talk about dad
Sorry.
jokes? See ya, Kym.
Sorry, buddy.
Speaking of hall scenes, weren't you in that one in Mary Kingstown where you guys were throwing all the flash grenades and shooting off?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and I said this is my hallmark.
yeah, and all those rounds bouncing off.
And
the,
every time he went down there, he hit his Hallmark. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
hilarious.
I did.
yeah.
I hit my hallmark.
Anyway, those movies are very difficult to be in, and I don't think people give them enough credit for what they are. And I know a lot of actors that won't even do them, which I think is bullshit. I think it's work, and if you're a working actor in any capacity, you guys know how important that is to just be on set and doing anything. It's
100%,
Sure.
the most,
100%.
the most
Big time.
important thing in our,
Yeah.
ego aside.
But it doesn't have to be. You know what? The audience can choose.
And Hallmark is
what
not.
is
Hallmark
important,
is
what's
also.
not.
Yeah, they can choose. Hallmark is just a ambiguous title. There's lots of different companies that make them, but everybody knows them as Hallmark.
Sure.
I mean,
James Cameron was once asked on a talk
Canadian.
show, from St. Catharines, was once asked about his movie Piranha 2.
sounds amazing.
So James Cameron, just look him up, everybody. If you don't know James Cameron, look on the IMDb for James Cameron and look what he's done. The guy's an absolute movie god.
He's Terminator, Avatar, Titanic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could go on.
But
Mariana's Trench.
the
Kinda.
the host of the TV talk show asked him if he could would he go throughout the world and take all the Piranha 2s off the shelf? And he said, absolutely not. Every director worth his note has a Piranha 2 on the shelf.
Oh, I would hope.
And that's exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, man.
It's the growth of the craft, that you do.
Totally.
One of the directors that I work with is he commits these stories fully no matter what, and he believes in them and loves them. But he's worked with everybody. He worked in the spaghetti western town with Sergio Leone.
Wow.
But he worked with like Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson. He's got great stories, but he's doing these movies happily because he's taking work and he loves to, and I love seeing that kind of stuff, man. Like he's in his 70s.
Yeah.
He's a great guy to work with.
Fabulous.
He's still doing it, and he'll take his Piranha 2s all day.
I'll
But
be
he believes in them completely, and I'm happy to be there.
I love that. I like hearing that.
Right? I don't give it doesn't need to be this upper echelon of like fucking multi-million-dollar somethings. Like there's lots of money involved, and it's what you make it, and it's still going on TV, and you're still in the industry, you're still working. I'm paying my mortgage like happily.
I think what you have to look back on, Kym, is what your initial dream was. And I used to go around and do public speaking and talk to colleges and high schools and especially acting students. And I'd tell them that there's 3 motivations that may sustain a career. One of them is fame. One of them is money. And one of them is to make your mother proud of you. And the only one that sustained me my entire career is to make my mother proud of me. And the first time you do a commercial, she'll call everyone she knows.
Yeah.
Because not everyone's going to make it on the cover of a movie magazine, and not everyone's going to be a millionaire. But as long as your goal was to be a working actor, and you're working, that was your goal, and you're doing it, regardless of the of the work, the movie.
Yeah. Mom, I've done 50 plus commercials national, and my mom, I remember she was so proud, and then I remember the day she goes, so when are you gonna start doing TV? I was like,
see it?
What the
Fuck, I gotta move on.
That's hilarious.
Like, damn, Mom.
Hey, moms know how to make you feel good.
She was
and
so
how to keep you going.
She
keep
was
you
so
moving.
embarrassed. She moved to Tasmania.
Lake District now. Like this is far. I get to speaking of like I was like, God damn it. My dad, dude, doesn't understand. He goes, you getting paid for this one? I go, when I was building my career, I'm like, no, I'm putting in the work. I'm working my ass off. I'm making these movies I want to get paid one day, but I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, you forget this extra gear. It's not just about like all the money, and it's about making your mom proud, making yourself proud, but like that constant fulfillment of our souls.
No, that's exactly right.
Yeah, man.
You are a success. I'm the most successful person I know.
Dude, you're me as well to you.
No,
I
but
think you are as well.
Because I had a dream as a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm doing it.
How many people get to do that? How many people, we talked about this, how many people get to, I'm sure we've talked about it, we've had, but how many people get to sit down and, we get to play, we get to light ourselves on fire.
Not enough people get to do this.
Nobody, we work our asses off. We know how
people, I've been criticized as
short,
somebody who, I do, and he, Randy and my sister Kristen, we do, fucking Blair, my cousin Blair, and a whole whack other guys.
He's a great guy.
He lives near me.
We do a ton of car commercials.
You guys are like the car guys.
And those who are listening who are car commercial producers, call us.
Yeah. I'm available this week. No.
I can smile.
But, it's kind of like what you're saying about Hallmark movies. People don't really know what goes into them. As much as you're watching a 15 to 30 second spot, it did take me 3 or 4 days to shoot this thing. Some of them are a day. Some of them take 3 and 4 days. And it's all driving, and believe it or not. And, and man, I keep forgetting what I'm trying.
Well, dude, I was in the Kia EV6, the electric car commercials. It was my first. I've been in car commercials, but I've never been the driver. This was my first drive. Oh man, I was the hero.
I was there. It wasn't great.
It was great. It was one of the best ones on TV. It was so cool. it was the blackout town. It was like, it was a really, and my agents were even like, because they got lots of people that are book, and Michael Cera's on their fucking roster.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's badass.
Yeah,
I met
man.
Michael Cera.
Did
He was,
you? I mean,
yeah, he's exactly as you imagine he is,
Canadian.
shy
Yeah.
and just but I was
But like I was so happy to be in that car commercial, and it was 2 days of hard ass work, and
Yeah.
I should have got paid stunt work for that. We talked about that. I was like the shit I was doing, but anyway.
but people underestimate what you're doing, and going back to how people don't necessarily get to do what we're doing, and that is just simply playing or doing what you would dream of since being this big. When I can often get criticized for what I did in the commercial. That's all you did, and what was your paycheck? And I always say, well, let me see. You did all of that, and what was your paycheck? Right, you're being paid too much. No, you're being paid too little.
For sure. Value,
in my opinion, you're the one that's getting screwed by our leaders or whatever it is. I'm playing and doing what we were meant to do, and the money wasn't even my choice. I didn't choose to make that paycheck.
I still don't know how the money works.
I mean,
I'll get 10 grand here.
More or
I'm
less.
I'm like, sweet.
Me neither.
Daughter and I are going to Florida.
Right, but to me, it's interesting that all these people are getting. To me, they're getting fucked, and I'm not. I'm not. People think I make too much. Are you kidding?
We have been, and that's one valuable thing my dad actually did teach. My mom worked her ass off to raise us, like work ethic, amazing stepdad work ethic. But my dad always taught me this thing about working in a factory to get your 2 weeks off a year. You work your life away to get 2 weeks off, or your weekends at fucking Costco, like on Saturdays, man. Like I couldn't do it. I could not do it. And
They're getting too little.
And no disrespect.
No,
to people at work. I mean,
none at all.
Like, goddamn, we need that, and like amazing. Like, fuck yeah.
There's no shame in it, but it's not you getting something more than what they're getting. They're getting less, and that's what's unfortunate. I hope I'm saying this right.
No, you are.
No, you are,
and,
for sure.
But that said, they are the ones that shame you.
Which happens all the time. How many times have we been in a situation? I still get this, and I'm working at the brewery part time. I like it, but I also I'm a working actor. It's feast or famine. And how many times do we get it where somebody goes, "What, porn? You doing porn?" Or like I'm like, fuck, haha, joke, funny, for the fucking 50,000th time. I'm like, no, you don't even understand what we do. And until you start talking about it, I say I'm an entertainer now. I don't even talk about.
That's kind of what I say too.
Oh, you would use a little theater. Like,
well, I
like the amount of work that we have to do to get there is insane. Talking about like all the factors that come in and those, like, man, it's like,
I know very few people who will work the hours that I work that will sustain, like, they stay up and have the same energy 14 hours later to go do whatever we do, and they always keep stunts to last.
Yeah.
It's the film industry is incredibly difficult. It's taxing physically. Yeah. It's taxing mentally, emotionally.
How many people are single because of it? I play bluegrass. I play in a band with my dad, and my bass player, my banjo player, his name is Dave Fulton. And I know Dave. You know Dave? He's a stunt guy. Yeah. Used to be. Pyro. He still doesn't sleep right. He doesn't sleep right because of that career still. And he won't even shake my hand. That's how this is the guy. But I love the guy. He's such an old
Better
school
shake
dude.
my hand when I see him.
Yeah, he's a great guy. We talk about you lots. But he doesn't sleep right because of the industry, because of all those nights, and his sleep schedule's still fucking off kilter, right? Anyway, keep going.
But see,
it's just not for everyone.
But these people that are discouraging you it's because it's been driven by the system. This thing is squeaky as hell. It's been driven by the system for them to feel that way about you. It's motivated by the system.
People see,
if they were making more money, they wouldn't give a shit. If they had more time with their family, they wouldn't give a shit.
Right.
Didn't matter what they're doing.
Yeah, we might work these long periods, stretches of time, and you so more because of coordination and all that. But we get to see our families, and we get to sit and do, like, today's Tuesday?
Yeah.
It's the middle of the day. We're drinking whiskey.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Chat.
Yeah.
It's the middle of the day Tuesday. We're having a shot of JD and
it's good.
But this is the best.
Yeah, my lifestyle is incredible.
It's amazing, man. My daughter looks up to me, and she sees what I'm doing, and I've had her help me out with so many films. and only because she wants to. And she does a phenomenal job. And you met my kid. And
she's so sweet.
Cool, observant, calm, collected. And she's taking marks now, notes from my buddy Shazma, my co-director, and a lot of these things.
Hallmarks.
She's taking her hallmarks, and I'm like, okay, so you will get up after I say 5 minutes. You will get up, take your buddy's cereal, and you will exit and sit in the chair here until Daddy gets his throat slit. Do you want to see the next part, or do you want to go home and play a bit? You know, yeah, this is why this works. This is how this works. She understands film now. I'm not taking away the magic necessarily because it's still there. Just, you know,
whatever.
But she'll watch a thing, and
it's a different kind of magic.
She asked me the other day. She goes, "Dad, like how many people are behind the camera there, and how do they do that?" I'm like, "Oh, great question." It doesn't scare her, but she still loves it. Loves it. Like she loves. If you love film, what Quentin said that. Quentin Tarantino said that once. You love film, you can make film. It doesn't matter your technical aspect. If you love film, you will understand and make film.
100%.
But yeah, she looks up to me though because of doing this. I know she does. Like, because I think that.
Of course she does.
I don't give a fuck what she thinks. I know she does.
My kids used to go to work with me. There they are.
I still look up to them.
I've been on stages before, and my daughter would just be there as I'm rehearsing. The Odd Couple, whatever. I'll walk around, pat her on the head. We run out of time.
No, we're not running out of time, but we're sort of.
Yeah. Anyway, proud of it. What do we got?
Yeah, what do we got? When did we start?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Are these things an hour?
Yeah, it's been an hour, Kym.
It's been
almost 3, brother.
Which is why I can last on set so long.
That's hilarious. Yeah, we work in the film business. What's 12 hours? Who cares?
I don't know, man.
It's the people at home that are going, are they doing this for what?
Yeah. Well, you'll edit it to an hour.
No, there's no editing.
Really?
No editing.
No, we're not.
There's no editing. Whatever you say
Not
is
really.
said.
Not really. There may be an exception here and there, but it's not the point.
How long was
I might take out a lot of stuff
3:19?
Andrew said, but that's it.
Hey?
3 hours 19, I believe.
Oh,
with Shawnee.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and we had to cut it, and he is funny because he had a list.
He's coming back.
He had a list.
He's got to be a 2-part. That guy's got probably more stories.
He's got 3 and 4. Oh my God, he had a list of like.
I gotta pee.
Yeah, do it up.
That's what he's looking at his clients.
Yeah.
It's his pee time. This is gonna be like there's a Wayne's World moment where you and I are just left alone regardless.
No, I actually.
Hey, everybody having a good time? You guys remember that episode of Scanners where the dude's head just blew up? Yeah,
that's good. At Donut Shop, Ray. Oh, why am I forgetting?
Chicago?
Ray, what's that?
No.
The Donut Shop. What?
Yeah,
Come on.
With the guy from fucking...
Ray Makitas?
Why is it when you stab
Donuts?
a man in the cold when you see a steam rise out of it?
Ring.
Yeah. Anyway, were you saying he had a list of things he was?
Oh no, yeah. Sean had like a stupid list of like highlights from his life, and we hit 2.
Oh my God.
We hit 2.
Yeah. I gotta listen to that one. I mean, this is so new, but I mean, I would love to because I met him on Mayor Kingstown.
Yeah, he's amazing.
I mean, all those guys.
He's the senior most SWAT guy of all of Canada.
Even the one guy, I gave one guy water. He was choking, and I was like, oh, and he's like a 6'5", and he's a dude sniped.
Gordy.
He sniped the
Gord.
hostage situation.
Gord, we would like to have him out here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's somebody who should be on here. He talks well.
All those guys in that room.
He's got more skills and other things too than anyone can imagine. I mean, yeah, he's a demon.
Yeah, well,
and he's the sweetest person on the planet. I don't know. Some people, I'm sure, have like a certain perception of cops. The moment you say the word cop, they got a certain
These guys
perception.
are above being cops.
They're beyond, but they did cop work.
Yeah,
but they're beyond. Yeah. And oh my God. But when you meet them, you would never believe it. In fact, one of my favorite things about working on Mayor of Kingstown, I was obviously very, very fortunate. I got to be part of the Robert's SWAT team.
Dude, I can't.
Robert, played by Hamish Headley, and
we're going to go to New York and see. I don't know. We talked a little bit.
Yeah. We will. We're really hoping to have Hamish here too.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite things in the world was learning and being a part of this SWAT team and this crew, and learning, of course, all that they know about not just guns. But how to clear rooms and do these SWAT role things, right?
That's the one thing I watch a lot of these like, you know, SWAT show. I always watch how they come around corners and do and
well, man,
you know.
These guys helped change the game for me. I mean, I was always doing a bit of gun work and cop stuff, and but then these guys and Adam Winicky, who was our trainer on it, another just superb gun guy that we're hoping to have out here. But my favorite thing about this was that sometimes in the stunt industry you have a certain camaraderie, but not necessarily. In the stunt industry, sometimes guys are looking out for themselves, sometimes they're looking out for you. But these guys, it's amazing. They literally, the whole thing became a brotherhood in the matter of 2 hours. We started training, and they were just like, "You're my brother. That's how this goes."
Yeah.
And there's no other way. And everything you did, they were like aware of it, and they were there to protect you. And we're going into a show. We're doing a series, and these guys are considered stunt guys, and we're acting like a real team. And even to this day, the show, the season that we shot is done, and these guys still act like brothers. It is unreal, and I fucking
some of the best stuff in that show is all the SWAT work. Like, well, I watched it, like, obviously, you know.
They got pros, man. Real deal.
Yeah, those guys are sweet.
Real.
I remember
Sean.
I remember being pretty fortunate to know you and be on set during that. And you were on set, but we were in the trailers, and all those guys were there, all those SWAT guys, and they all went in the same trailer together. And I got invited in. And the guy, Sean's like, "I gotta fuck in here, man." And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." Yeah. And I remember COVID being like, "Hey guys," and they, like, all the SWAT guys just looked at them and were like, "Yeah, do your thing." It's like 13 of them in there, all in one trailer. We're all just hanging out. And they're just shooting the shit, talking. I was like,
it's amazing how quickly these guys become one entity.
Yeah, man. I was like, and you can't ask war stories or anything like that. It's not something you do, but like
we do.
But they're, well, I mean, I always do secretly. But like,
yeah.
Always do. But like, I always get to them, like, so. But they all talk about it. They're like, because that's what they just talk about it, and they all get it. They all look at each other's eyes. They know.
They talk about work.
Yeah, like that's a fucking man right there. Like those, like they've done some shit, and that's perspective. No matter what we go through, I think about them. I'm like, oof.
And again, people don't understand what they do, and they don't want to even comprehend it. They just judge it, whether it's good or bad. It's the immediate reaction of most people is to just judge. These guys are some of the greatest people I've just ever met, and the way they care about human beings and saving lives. Yeah. And people don't realize, but the sole reason that they are there doing what they're doing
protect us
is to protect us, and they really are. It's not like it's just a job. They got there because of their mentality.
That level, I think. Level. That's a very we can.
But
we can
to some people, it's just a job.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
But these guys,
but those guys, that's like.
And that's the thing is, you can't if you can become a cop by going to school and doing some of the right things.
I know a lot of shady guys that are cops.
And you get shady dudes, or you don't, guys and gals. But the ones that are doing that work, they even reminded me that you cannot, not reminded, they educated me that you cannot become this role if you don't give a shit, and if you don't want to be a brother. If you are trying to be better than the next guy, then you're gone. There's no way.
Yeah,
we're all one. It's awesome.
I've talked to guys that, like, one dude in particular I grew up with, trained for a JTF, Joint Task Force, and yeah, he didn't make it, but he's like, and he talked about the whole training situation. Got close, but I was like, damn, man, I can't even, like, to get in these positions, and it's just like,
it's pretty wild.
It is wild, man. It's like, and these guys are all, they fucking did it. They're doing this shit. And you're like, God damn. Like, I was just talking about the dude who was in the sniping position that started that, which Flashpoint was based off, right?
Yes, that's true.
Right? Yeah, you told me that, which is crazy.
Yeah, it's because of him.
Yeah, it's like starts with a little sliver or something. You're like, let's like build off this. These
well,
guys.
The writers, the creators of the show, a husband and wife team, went home that night after the incident downtown.
Hugh Dillon was not one of the writers on that. He was one.
No,
he was
one of the stars.
Yeah.
But one of the writers of Mayor of Kingstown.
Yes.
Yeah, he actually created the entire thing, and I
think he's produced Yellow
Taylor Sheridan.
Yeah, Taylor Sheridan and all that. Sorry.
But the writers and creators of Flashpoint went home that night and had a chat, and the subject of that chat was what does a man like that go home to?
Yeah.
And how does he interact with his family and the emotions and that kind of thing? So they created a series about SWAT cops, but it was about relationships, either together or the people that aren't a part of the policing world.
Yeah, usually you hear, like we talked, firefighters and stuff. I think it's always they go home and then they don't go home right away. Sorry, they have like a decompression moment with the rest of the guys or girls, whatever, like the team, and they just sit and they talk openly about it, because you can't, like, I can't imagine, but like training to be a firefighter many times, I've had to talk to people and stuff, and as we all talk, but like I can't imagine just going home after like a situation and being like just like, bath time. How do you, with my kid, and then I talk to my, like, you can't talk.
How do you extricate 3 charred bodies from a house and then go home
and eat fucking mashed potatoes,
bath your daughter?
Yeah, it's wild.
Like, that's like
wildlife,
insane, right? But that's the way to process and focus on what you're doing, and it's good, and life happens. And these guys, I mean, Flashpoint obviously was made about like what he had to go through, and there we are sitting with him in Mary Kingstown, the man who went through all this,
and he's incredible.
Now, I once sat down.
While saying I gave him a bottle of water, he was choking on water. He was like the nicest guy. What's this guy?
I sat down at lunch one day on set with the bomb guy, the ETF guy that was there. He was extremely quiet. I don't know his name. I don't remember. I don't know if I've ever met him again or whatever. But I sat down at lunch with him, and I asked him a bit about his life without getting too personal. And he had talked about his wife, and his wife was she was the type of nurse or medical staff who dealt with people that had limbs blown off, legs blown off. The worst of the worst, car accidents, big ones, And I did ask him what it was like to talk about work afterwards, and he said we don't.
We don't talk about it.
We don't talk about it. And he said that they just talk about what movie they're going to watch, about what they, the evening. Now, having said that, since then, I've talked to Sean, and Sean is the guy that says if you can't talk about it, you end up kind of screwed.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to talk about it. I don't know whether he means with his wife or if he just means in the therapy office. I have no idea.
I played football with my coach was a homicide detective, and I remember him talking about it lots. And he was like, "Yeah, humor was his go-to. He would have to joke.
I can imagine.
Yeah, right. You have to. There's ways you have to. I mean, I'm not speaking on behalf of any of this because I don't know, but like this is just.
Some guys come into this life too, like later in life. When you've already been a kid and you've been a teen and all this.
They hire most people later in life when they've had
maturity.
Their experiences, maturity, right?
Yeah, but see, like Sean, well, he was Israeli military and a medic with the Israeli military, and he saw everything before he was like in his more informative years.
Yeah.
He saw everything.
We're raised on Saturday morning cartoons, eating Fruit Loops, and we're like, fucking, this stuff is cutting the top of my mouth. Like this is a hard day. That's a hard day.
Yeah,
he's doing that.
Yeah, it really is just.
I think speaking on behalf of this, just to wrap up where we are, perspective in our industry as well is one of the most important tools to have in life. But like perspective as an actor and a creator, to understand the other side, empathy and perspective. That's like the biggest shit in our world, I think.
It is.
Right?
Yeah.
Keeps you grounded, present, and kind of able to work through it all. Anyway.
Totally.
I agree.
Fuck yeah. Is that it?
Well, I don't know.
Great
how
way to
long
end a
have
conversation.
We really been going?
No, that's fine.
I don't care. No, I can talk. Guys, I could talk all day.
No, it takes forever to upload on YouTube.
Well, we're under 2 hours still, I think.
No, nowhere near.
Yeah. No, we're not even close to 2 hours yet.
It's a little over 3.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is. You're looking at the wrong clock.
What time is it? Oh my God, it's 1:45. What the fuck? That clock is wrong. Dude, I'm sitting here thinking, man, it feels like we went that distance, but okay.
Yeah, I mentioned it last time. I said I haven't changed that clock, so don't look at that.
Oh fuck.
So
right.
Kym Wyatt McKenzie.
Whatever. Yeah, Kym, yo, man, Thanks for coming out and hanging out, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate knowing you guys. I respect and love you guys very much. And I can't wait to
Ditto,
keep on
dude.
working. Yeah, you know.
Ditto, man.
We're only bringing people on that say that stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's it.
I got the memo.
That's our mandate.
Sign the form, man. Yeah. Well, I know this is an interesting industry, and I'm sure it's gonna. I think a lot of people are gonna listen to this and have a little bit of It's gonna be an eye-opening kind of a way to look at what we do and stuff.
Well, I hope that some
so.
young people out there that have dreams of being actors or stunt performers will glean some information from this and continue.
Yeah, I mean,
their
I had to
dream.
do a lot
Big
of it on my
time,
own. I don't know how you guys. I mean, you probably
did it all
Well,
on my own.
I had a little bit of help.
A little bit of help, but you still have to learn a lot, right? Like I remember.
I appreciate every bit of it, and I try to pull my weight. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. I mean, I remember reaching out to a lot of people at the beginning and not necessarily getting answers that really helped, but I learned a lot. And then when you start talking to somebody about it, like the people that are like, hey, how do I get in it? You realize you have 4 hours of just being like, yeah, you know, I guess this is how you do it. This is how you start. Build a demo, do this, get an agent, you know, get ready for what your life's going to be like. Get ready for this, get ready for those long hours, get ready for, yeah, man.
Well, see what happens to the people is that I think that most people, they see something like this and they think that you're some kind of anomaly or something like that. But really, you're as human as anyone else. The difference is that instead of foreseeing the future and saying, you know what, it would just be easier if I just got a job that gives me a paycheck every week.
A lot of people take that. Right?
Well, yeah, because people don't see that our life is ever changing, and that every experience that you have mutates the next one. And you know, with someone who's an actor, you start with one ball rolling. You wait and see how it executes, and then you roll the next ball.
As roll
it's not. Yeah, you can't foresee the future. You don't have a fucking clue.
We don't wait for the phone to ring either. We keep making our own stuff and doing
That's
our
right.
own stuff.
That's right.
But that is
absolutely
based on one experience, and then you use it to get to the next one.
Speaking of experiences too, like at one more point on our world, I think the most like perspective, empathy, and like having experience and like doing things. If you can strip away who you are and forget about like the pride of like being embarrassed, you take your experiences of life. I've done so much, but like that I can put like countless amounts of like fist fights and heartache and this, and I used to fucking be a drug dealer before I started acting. I had a shotgun hidden in a wall, like crazy ass shit. But I think about it all.
Dang.
Yeah, no, seriously, and I use
another podcast.
But you use all of this. I know a lot of theater people that people stay kind of safe their whole life, and I find that's a little bit detrimental. Don't go out and don't do a gainer off a fucking 120-foot bridge into concrete, but go do stuff.
People settle for their comfort.
That's what it is, man.
Yeah.
And in this industry, that doesn't work.
But see, yeah, and people, I mean, the last 2 years, for a lot of people, people have learned that they have to fight to survive. And that is what it's like in your position, that, you know, people are resilient, man. And they think from this point to the next all the time. They don't. It's not just a blank. Life isn't just a blank slate. It is built by every step that is being taken. Every step comes after the last one, and you know,
little moments are important. Empathy, perspective, fucking experience, and a little bit of nepotism doesn't hurt.
Integrity, and then trying to think like an American.
Yeah. But hey, man, it's true though. I mean, our world's kind of rocked by them, so gotta kind of.
Well, they set a precedence, right?
Yeah. That's that bar we talked about.
The thing about the film industry, it's global. We shouldn't.
I got one more point after yours. Just
go,
if that's
make,
cool.
make your point. Mine sucked.
Yours.
Go ahead.
No, I want to hear it. The thing about our industry is it's global.
It's just global. Like it has nothing to do with geographic countries.
If you understand that, you shouldn't, and you should understand that if you're on Vimeo or you're in film festivals or you know, if you're being seen and you're doing good work,
tell good stories.
Tell good stories. Hopefully, it's recognized. Right. That's the ideology of it. You know, in most cases, people don't have time to sit and watch people's stuff, and that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not for us to have that pipe dream. It's just for us to make it and tell our stories and move on and keep on. You know, not that blank slate. Just keep doing our thing to keep us going, right? That's very important. The coolest thing ever, I just want to talk about this because the coolest thing ever happened in my career. I remember we talked about like dreaming about these roles and things. I remember with a shift from TV or from commercials to TV, the first thing I got was on The Boys. And I remember booking it, and I played a fake Billy Butcher. It was I had to make fun of Carl Urban's Billy Butcher on The Boys, which was like an honor because I love Carl Urban. Fanboy.
Good last name.
Fanboy. And and I got a subreddit from it. If you guys know what Reddit is.
Yeah.
I got my own subreddit, and I looked, and something came up on YouTube the other day of the clip, and it's still being talked about. They're like, oh, this guy should have his own. I'm like, fuck, that's such a. And I dreamt about that role. It didn't feel real that I got The Boys. And I was got this cool little iconic piece where I got to make fun of the main character in a great way, because it's just like I took it seriously enough. I dreamt about it. I thought, like, I woke up, I'm like, is that real? Did I fucking book that? I remember my agent at the time. It wasn't a big deal to her, and I was like, big deal to me, man. And it was, awesome. And it's still. But the point is, this is the coolest thing that's happened to me in my career yet, besides maybe meeting you and you. To be honest, seriously, guys, and fucking and booking just movies, and now it's But I was with my kid, and we're going to get her helmet from mom's work to go for a bike ride, and it was maybe the beginning of the pandemic or some shit. I can't remember. Maybe just before. It was things were starting or happening. I got a WhatsApp call from Europe.
Okay.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry. No.
I got a WhatsApp call. And I was like, what's that? It's like a European number. Who the fuck is this? I answer it. Hey, is this Kym McKenzie? I'm like, yeah. Yes. This is called yes. He goes, this Garth Ennis, creator of The Boys, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. Like, I was like, fuck off. Like, sure. He goes, and I questioned it. I go, what did I do on The Boys? He goes, oh, you're fake Butcher. You did fake Billy Butcher. And he goes, would you ever be willing to work on a side thing, with a duff? I'm working on this thing called a strange shark or danger something shark. I can't remember. But he goes, I'm working with the Duffer Brothers. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And who's Garth Ennis? Duffer Brothers made Stranger Things. Garth Ennis is the comic book creator of The Boys, Preacher from North Ireland, like the guy that Seth Rogen and those guys made it, like they're working. I'm like. And I didn't know what to do. I was like, he goes, can you work in LA? I go, legally, yes, I could get my shit and work there. I go, I don't really know how to deal with this, man. Like, he goes, I'd like you to be a character in this new thing I'm making, supporting. And if you could do it. And I said, yeah, all right. Like, can you kind of contact you through my agents? I didn't know what to do, but and I was calling my agent after. We followed through with it. I didn't know if it was a prank. I couldn't figure out if it was a hoax or a prank or something. Followed through. Says we got his mom in North Ireland. He's from Ireland. He was home probably for COVID, reaching out. Probably watched his show, liked what I did, and his mom was like, "Yeah, just expecting a call on Monday." Yeah, he's from Canada. I was like, "What the fuck?" It was real, but
that's the worst New Zealand accent I've ever heard.
Yeah. I've done a whole play. I was Irish once.
I'm kidding.
But anyway, so it was the coolest thing that ever happened to me. I'm sure he was bored. I'm sure he was just reaching out, trying to make. And I asked my buddy Charlie, I'm like, "Is that normal?" He goes, yeah, we contact people sometimes to get relationships and feel for the person we want to work with. Totally normal, not kind of crazy, but normal, happens. Haven't heard back since, but it was honestly the coolest thing that has happened to me in my career since.
Well, I wonder if COVID got in the way of whatever this was.
Well, who knows, right? Busy life. Who knows if his fucking
things
mother
move on
passed
as quickly as they do. He will call.
Well, it's a kind of it was a very cool thing, surreal thing to happen. I couldn't find and you guys watch Preacher?
No, I don't.
Well, you should. He wrote that as well, and that's a cool, and a lot of his leads are dark featured, Caucasian, whatever. And I was like, well, maybe I look like Carl. I look like this guy. I'm like, maybe maybe he's fanboying over me. No, but he's another guy I fanboy over.
Well, yeah, he's probably going to hear this. He's going to hear this podcast in year end.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the coolest. As an actor, these little things happen as well, and we've all got probably these little. The point I was trying to make is these little things also keep you going, and they're kind of cool. Like, I'm sure you've worked with so many cool ass people that I started this by saying you broke Tia Carrere's nose.
Well, I did not.
Well,
I barely hit her, but I did.
Well, I remember you telling me that story. It was the coolest thing I ever heard. I was like, whoa. Like, that's Wayne's
cool.
World, man.
She thought it was pretty cool too.
Cassandra.
Man. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I get it. She's a babe.
she's a bitch. If she was the president, she'd be Abraham Lincoln.
That's right.
You know, that's the best. I was like, these things also keep, like, if you love film, you love film, and this kind of shit keeps you going as well, as much as the other stuff. Anyway,
fucking A, man.
I just want to make that point.
All right.
Yo, Kym, it was a pleasure, dude. Thank you.
Sweet, man. Thank you for having me.
Kym Wyatt McKenzie, ladies and gentlemen.
Guest number 2, way more important than guest number 1.
Cheers, buddy. Yeah, it was good to.
Don't hurt me, Sean.
I'll shake your hand.
All right, cheers, man.